And you are watching another Blewett Blitz film review. He has that ability to, trust me, he definitely does. Just his ability to catch balls outside of his frame, his leaping ability, his ability to hang in the air, his yak ability, it's all there. Lowers his helmet, low man wins, bang, rocks the guy.
Hall running free, Breece Hall inside the 10, he's gonna score!
The corners all do their job. You know, if you look at the picture right here, lock.
3rd and 1. Stevens always drilled. What a great defensive play.
I don't try to Monday morning quarterback any of the reviews I do, and I'll try to be honest with a lot of the things I put up. And you are watching / listening to the first ever watch party edition of Blewett Blitz. We're going to watch a Jets game together. Going to talk a little bit about obviously the past game, which was probably the worst way you could possibly win. That was quite interesting. But I'm going to say hello to some people in the chat. Sorry I was a little bit late. I had some problems with the light behind me, so that light's out. And now I'm looking at myself in the camera, and it looks like almost like very grainy behind me, but good quality. If that stuff is bothering you guys, it looks like it's grainy. I think I could decrease my camera output and it'll be fine. But hello to Dakota. John Hassel says I'm fired up, or whatever it is the kids are saying these days. Should be a really fun time. What was that famous Bart Scott quote again? He can't wait. Probably one of the more quotable things ever happened in Jets history. Ranked number 3 defense right now. That's remarkable. Last season, we ranked number 4 in defense out of 32. Keep it going, finish strong. Yeah, and you'd like to see the defense finish strong. Obviously, Amari Cooper's out tonight, which, by the way, I don't know if it makes me a terrible person, but I am in a fantasy championship, and the other guy has a Cooper. I'm not saying anything. I don't care. Like at the end of the day, if you are not going to manage your team, Cooper's been questionable all week. So if he's going to leave him in there, then hey, I'm going to check it right at 8:15. But with the defense, you'd like to see them finish strong. They've gotten a little bit more mistake prone the last few weeks. And obviously this game, if they're going to win, you want to see them blow out the Commanders. It was 27-7. Obviously you guys know, and it's like, okay, listen, if we're going to win this game, 38-10 or 13, then okay, at least you beat the crap out of a bad team and you kind of puff your chest out at least a little bit, right? Obviously considering the fact that it's the Commanders, you want to do it too much, but at least we beat a bad team. But you have a situation where the offense was good, but not really, because a lot of their opportunities were created, off of turnovers. You have the Tony Adams pick, you have the Jermaine Johnson block punt, or it's not a turnover, but a block punt. And they scored on a lot of short fields. And in the second half, when they really needed to, they didn't score at all until obviously the game-winning field goal. So it wasn't necessarily an encouraging performance from the offense, minus from, a few guys and Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson and, Jeremy Ruckert. And there's a few guys out there. Obviously, Joe Tippmann was pretty good in this game as well. So at least you're getting carried by some of your players who will be here for other years. But second half, you still kind of didn't do anything. So that was not very encouraging versus the worst defense in the NFL. And then the defense, it was great versus Sam Howell. And then Jacoby Brissett came in and tore you up. And he kind of tore you up last year. No, he didn't tear them up per se, but he was pretty efficient versus them last year. And he comes into this game in 3 touchdown drives in a row. And realistically, again, I'm not trying to be negative. It's just my real thoughts. At the end of the game, they were passing the ball over us. If they didn't just run it up the middle 3 times in a row at the end of the game, do they pass for a first down? And then, it's the game is iced. That seemed like a very real possibility. So you have your defense who kind of shit the bed in the second half versus overall just a not good offense. And you have the defense who shit the bed 3 drives in a row pretty much, and just or 3 drives in a row, not pretty much, but you let up a lot of points to the Commanders when it mattered, and we say that this defense is a defense that is supposed to be up. Well, hey, we were up 27-7 and it didn't really work out well. So you won the game, but realistically, it wasn't very encouraging. Like we weren't encouraged by the offense, right? First half, sure, we're encouraged, but considering the fact that again it was short fields for the Jets, and then the defense, was that impressive? They went on a 54-yard field goal. Great. I'm not going to tell people how to root, which, by the way, because there are people who are diehard root for the Jets to win, and there are people who are diehard root for the Jets to lose. I went middle ground today. I still have this jersey, so it's number 8. So if you want to call it an Aaron Rodgers, you can. But I figured I would support both sides. I'm wearing a Jets jersey, but it might say Elijah Moore in the back, which is kind of gross. But I'm trying to show support to both sides by wearing the Browns' number 1 receivers number because Cooper's out. Even though it's really Njoku. I actually don't know where he's versus Donovan Peoples-Jones in terms of targets. And I'm wearing Jets jersey at the same time. And if you're mad at me for it, then it's an Aaron Rodgers jersey. Either way, I won't show you the back, so you'll never actually know, and I can deny it. So NY Jet Superfan, what's up, boys? Let's go. What's up to Christian? I'll be transparent. I'm gonna try to not like filter stuff. It's not like I usually filter stuff, but I'm just gonna try to let it loose. We're just gonna chill. We're gonna watch a game like we're all at the bar together. Even though it's just me in my room talking to you guys through a screen. But cheers. Starting off with I don't know if you guys have ever had it's like the On the Rocks margaritas, premium cocktail things. One of these bad boys, and then we got some Millers. But by the end of this thing, I don't know. They're decent. They have a kick to them. So we're gonna see how that goes. Will be interesting. But at least at this point in the year, like I feel comfortable doing a stream right now, because if it was, let's say, I don't know, week 4, 5, 6, 7, when the games really mattered, then I really, really get pissed and I really, really get in a dark place. But now with the Jets, who cares? So even though it'll still come out. But what's up to Christian? Like I said before, Chris said, I have a feeling we're not going to score today. Yeah, if it's one of those games where it's like 27-3 at halftime, or, I don't know, 17-0 at halftime, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we're here for the whole thing. And again, this is my first time, so I know a lot of people are out there who stream. I know Green Bean does it. I know Let's Talk Jets does it. I know some other people do it. So if I just have the 37 people in here now, hang out with you guys. Chris says, Joe, your honest opinion, how is Carter Warren, or it's Carter Warren at right tackle? Not good prior to this game, and to be transparent, just busy with everything going on, and knowing that I wasn't going to do a film review this week. I didn't watch it yet. I plan to, though, because I've off Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, so I'm going to watch some of the film. But based on what I saw on broadcast, and then what I seen from Nania putting out on Twitter and stuff, he looked like he was pretty solid. I don't think he let up a sack, maybe a pressure or two, but it was an encouraging game from him. It was an encouraging game from Tippmann. It was an encouraging game for Jeremy Ruckert in terms of as a blocker. It was encouraging for Breece. Garrett, there was some good performances on offense, but still the overall stalling in the second half is still really bad. But so far, not good. This game, good. And obviously we want the progression to go up. So his last game being his best game is a good thing. Let's hope he continues it tonight. Hell of a test with Myles Garrett. So we'll see how that is. Looking good, Joe. Dakota got in here first. Tank or not the tank is the question. Yeah, that's why I'm representing both sides right now. Both sides. Probably I could almost guarantee the last time I've ever put this on, but win now, we already won a meaningless game. Yeah, a meaningless game, and you won it in the ugliest possible fashion, where, let's again be realistic here, if the Commanders just throw the ball, they were probably good. I don't know. Dakota, Meatball Parm, angry Blewett show on deck. I don't know if it's angry. I don't know. We'll see. Art says, what's good, y'all? I appreciate you, Art. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Sunday was the absolute worst kind of win. Yeah, it was not encouraging. Like I said, it was definitely not encouraging to get your ass beat in the second half, realistically. And then for Riverboat Ron Rivera to just hand you the game at the end. They were passing on us all day, and then they run the ball 3 times, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess we'll take it. It drops the Jets to what, like the 8th or the 9th pick or something like that, which is going to convolute my draft prep and stuff over the next month. Because I was thinking about watching Alt, but if the Jets finish at 9-10, do I even watch Alt, or do I focus on Latham from Bama, the tackle, or Fashanu, the other tackle from whatever school it is? I always forget if it's like Oregon or Oregon State or Washington or whatever school it is out there. But maybe I'll watch those guys instead of Alt. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. NY Jet Superfan says, I hope we lose the last 2, but play competitively. We obviously know we are better next year with AR8. We need one of the top 2 offensive tackles in the draft, and Michael Ueno and Higgins in free agency. What do you think, Joby? Okay, so you're saying one of the top two. Well, it depends on obviously how the draft falls and where the Jets are. I would say I've seen people who put Latham and Fashanu in the same kind of class. There's some people who have Alt and Fashanu completely above Latham, but I've seen more so people having Alt in a class of his own, and then Fashanu with Latham kind of right behind him. But obviously, I'll watch it for myself, and then that'll completely determine my opinion. So don't necessarily know yet in terms of like the draft guys and who I want to draft, but my initial thought is draft a tackle because the Jets need two of them at this point. It seems very unlikely that Mekhi Becton's going to come back, and obviously with pouring out for Dwayne Brown, going to the IR, which just shows again, or reiterates the fact that relying on a guy who was injured last year to play this year was not a good idea, because he played all of the first. I know he played in Dallas. I forget if he made it through like the whole Pats game or whatever, or week 3 or even week 4. I don't know exactly when he went out, but still a couple of weeks from him this year. Again, silly plan for Joe Douglas to rely on him with Becton and all of that stuff, but undoubtedly they need a tackle, and I think it will be in the draft, and hopefully free agency is, like you say, a guy like a Higgins. Now, the only thing with Ueno is I know he's moved like guard and tackle. I'm not sure how durable he is, and I know he's been like very hot and cold with the Pats. So is that a guy you are comfortable with starting a tackle, or do you bring in a Ueno, but then you also bring in a George Fant if he's a free agent? Now, I'm not sure exactly what his contract would be and exactly how well he actually performed with the Texans, but let's say it's like a similar deal, 1 year, $5 million, $6 million to him, and then another deal for Ueno, and you let those guys kind of battle it out, and then you have Max Mitchell and Carter Warren behind those guys. Okay. I would obviously like a little bit of a stronger option at tackle, than Ueno or George Fant, but at this point we might not really have many better options. Just it's a shitty luck of the draw with how the free agency class is at this point. But in terms of the receivers, yeah, it's not. It looks good. Now, can the Bengals pay Higgins? I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at their cap in terms of what they can do. Do they franchise tag him because he is one of their better players on offense? They don't really have a ton on the offensive line. Maybe there's a guy or two that I'm missing who's actually a stud for them. Again, just transparency. I'm obviously not up with all the other teams and how well their guys actually play. But I know the Bengals have like an all right offensive line, but I don't think they have any studs on it. So you're talking about Burrow, Chase as your number 2 most important guy on offense, and your number 3 most important guy on offense is probably Higgins. So are they going to allow him to go, or do they franchise tag him? Same thing with Pittman, same thing with Mike Evans. What happens with these guys? So you're hoping the Jets can land one of them, but it's easier said than done, because let's say it is, Pittman, Evans, Devontae, and Higgins, if I didn't already say him, but there's like 4 kind of like of the main guys that people are looking at, with maybe Pittman being like more of like the B or C option for some people. But what if Adams isn't traded? What if Mike Evans says, no, I want to re-sign with the Bucs. I already won a Super Bowl here. My kids are here. I'm 31 years old, whatever it is. I'm staying here. And then Pittman gets tagged, and T. Higgins signs with the Ravens. Like it's very possible. So it's easy to do these like mock off seasons and just put names in and plug names in, but they also have to sign the dotted line as well. So I'm really interested to see. Let's see who else is in the free agency receiver class. Free agent NFL wide receivers 2024. Let's see who else is out there, because let's say all those guys do go, and then that opens you up in the draft where, hey, maybe you can trade down because you like multiple receivers, you like multiple tackles. That opens them up a little bit. But we got Evans, Odell. Let's relax with the Odell stuff. I wouldn't want to do that. Curtis Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Cedric Wilson, Kendrick Bourne, Chark, Agnew, Paris Campbell, Hardman, Barrios, Grant, Aguilar. I could see them doing something like, okay, let's say they bring in, now again, I think this doesn't lock them into tackle in round 1, but you bring in, a Tyler Boyd or a Curtis Samuel, and they're your 2/ or your 3/4 with Lazard, and then you bring in a guy in the 3rd round. Now, is Garrett Wilson, Tyler Boyd Lazard and a third-round rookie the most inspiring group? No, not necessarily. But at the same time, if they're not going to kind of splurge at wide receiver, then it allows them to splurge at other areas. Maybe they are then able to afford a bigger tackle or a big-time free safety that can really take this defense from top 5 to like number 1 lock or something like that. So we'll see. Again, it's a little bit harder said than done with some of these names, and if they do re-sign or whatever it may be. But you have to hope, obviously, the Jets get at least like a Pittman or an Evans. Devontae is it sounds sexy, but honestly, out of those 4 options, just considering what it's going to take to get him, which I'm going to consider it like a second and maybe another mid-round pick and maybe a player or something like that, and paying him $25-30 million at this point, I'd rather just have an Evans or a Higgins or maybe even a Pittman because of the age, the age factor. But I would probably say he's my third, with Pittman being my fourth. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the receivers in free agency. I think the Jets legitimately need to land at least one of those guys. At the bare minimum, it's a Curtis Samuel or Tyler Boyd, and then you bring on freaking Paris Campbell to be your 4. Like, we can't have, no offense to Gibson and Brownlee, but I don't think they've proven enough this year to be comfortable with them as anything more than the 5th or 6th receiver on this team. Brownlee, he ran a slant that was wide open, called a touchdown, great. And then Gibson has had a few flash moments of both really good and both really bad. He's fumbled multiple punts at this point, so it's not like he's had the strongest year either. So they have to bring in at least 2 receivers next year. Lazard's going to be in that top 4 at the minimum, but you got to bring in at least 2 guys who could be legitimate. You have to bring in 1, 2, and then at least another like role player, like again, a Paris Campbell, like I just mentioned, or somebody like that. So, but overall, mostly in agreement. Christian says, glad you're doing this, makes this watching. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there. So for the people who do stay in here, I appreciate that. Obviously, bounce around, do whatever you want. I am not the most relaxed Jets fans during game, which actually, speaking of, which is always awkward when I'm on a stream, but I do got to start getting some liquids. So to make it more bearable, and because why not? It's Thursday night, but really it's my Friday, so celebrating getting off of work. Is there any chance of getting back into the top 6 or 7? Yeah, I think if they lose out right now, Matt, they could get as high as 4, or as low, I guess as high as 4 right now. So they can't get into the top 3, but if they lose these next 2 games and some other things work out, obviously one of them specifically being losing to the Pats, and I think them moving up past us, they could still be number 4, which, listen, like it's very hard to say, what exactly I want to happen, because my head always says lose the game. But when he was lining up for that field goal, did I I was legitimately conflicted. But when it's in the air, I was like, go in. And then it went in, and I'm like, I can't help myself from rooting for wins, especially at the end. But right now, I had to choose, lose the games, because realistically, winning the games, it's not going to really do much for team camaraderie and stuff. Like, it might do a little bit, but let's be realistic about it. That one, I don't think anybody's going to let's say, I don't know who's a free agent this year. Quentin Jefferson. I don't think us beating the Browns today is going to be the difference in if he resigns or not. And then furthermore, do I think that Sauce Gardner is going to think about this Browns game specifically week 1 next year? Do I think he's going to think about that in the 2024, 2025 offseason, when we might be signing him to a contract? Like, oh, this Browns game, we lost that game. That's why I don't want to be with the Jets. It's like, no, we have all of next year to kind of get back in good spirits. I realistically don't think this game means much for anything. For the time being, it does, like for this very moment, for the next week on Twitter or whatever. But again, realistically, Sauce is not going to be looking back 2 years from now and be like, oh, that fucking Browns game, we lost that Browns game, I can't resign with this team. So if they win next year, then they'll all be back anyway. And again, Quentin Jefferson, Al Woods, whoever else is a free agent is not resigning because we win this game or lose this game. Again, as a fan, do I want to see the Jets on, prime time football, quite literally prime, and whoop the Browns' ass and shut up some people who talk shit about the Jets all the time? Like, yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to hype myself up. I'm going to start talking about how the Jets are going to win this shit. And they're going to be here, 17-3 in the end of the first quarter. I wouldn't be mad at a dub. Browns fans are trash. Yeah, I'm with you, Daniel Murphy. when the Browns got like halfway decent a couple of years ago, the game where we were beating the shit out of Tyrod, and then obviously Baker comes in and they beat us. That year, they talked a whole host of shit, not only to Jets fans, but to just other NFL fans and like just in the general ether. And they went like 7-9 or 6-10 at the end of that year, but they were still talking a lot of shit, which when you're so bad for so long, does it come out? Does that come out? Yeah, I get that. And it happens for Jets fans too. And that's probably why a lot of people hate the Jets fans, but I'm on the other side of it now. So I don't like them. Daniel Murphy says we need reviews on the top 4 tackles and top 4 receivers. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know, but wife's due in less than 4 weeks. So I will have a whole month at home. Babies sleep pretty well the first couple of weeks or month or whatever, even though maybe some of you guys are laughing at me. But I plan on I want to get at least right now. I think I might skip Alt and then put him towards the back burner just in case we do get up that high. But I think I'm going to start with Fashanu and Latham and then do is the second receiver, the 2 or the 3 receiver, it's Neighbors, right? I believe. I'll check in the chat, but I believe it's Neighbors. Again, I'm not so into the draft right now. Neighbors and Coleman, like maybe I'll watch those 2 guys, and then I'll do Alt as the 5th, and maybe I'll throw in like a bonus Brock Bowers, type of thing. Just because, listen, at the end of the day, if the rumors are true that the Jets tried to bring in Mayer last year, or not, they didn't try to bring him in. I should correct myself. They didn't try to bring him in, but they were interested in drafting him. Apparently, if Brock Bowers really is this legitimate, blue chip type prospect, do the Jets pass on that? So I'm going to watch at least those 5: Latham, Fashanu, Bowers, Coleman, Neighbors, and then I'll get to probably Alt after that, I would say. So I'm going to get at least 6 or 7 done before free agency, or I hope to get at least like 6 done before free agency, where I'll have them like pre-cooked for draft time. And then obviously free agency, I'll be doing reviews of all the studs we get for little to no money because, JD's gonna fleece them or something. I don't know. Salah calling that last time out with 13 seconds left and then running a play. If a turnover happened the next play or did not have Greg the leg, Salah would have get more heat. He's not a good coach at all. Yeah, how did that exactly end, Eagle? Because I remember at the end of the game being like, they left time on the clock, so they either should have spiked the ball and then went for another play to get a couple of extra yards, or they should have let the clock run out and then called a timeout, right? Was that the situation? It's like ticking and they called it too early or something like that? I forget exactly what happened to be completely transparent, but Art says Rodgers seems to like Becton. Do you think that will be a factor? I wouldn't rule. Yeah, it's a factor, right? Like it has to be a factor. The fact that he brought in Lazard, Cobb, Cook, all these guys, Billy Turner. I don't think the Jets just randomly signed those guys. So if he is Rodgers' boy and Rodgers can convince him, hey, come back on a 1-year $10 deal to play again, then yeah, great. Other than that, he's been bad, man. He's been really bad, and it was something I hesitated to tweet out during the game just because I would maybe want to watch it back, but the effort is lacking too at this point. Like it just looks like after he's beaten, he kind of just watches what happens, throws his hands up, head down, like even his between the whistle stuff, after the whistle stuff, it just doesn't look like he wants to be there. So I don't know. I don't know if Becton wants out because obviously he hasn't had the best relationship with this regime, but I think it's a possibility that he comes back if Rodgers can convince him to come back, but do we even really want him back? Next, Pittman getting tagged too. Yeah, Higgins, Pittman. I can see it now. The question is, how much money do the Bengals have in terms of like, are they able to tag him? Which, by the way, let me try to screw around with that audio a little bit so I can hear the game and you guys, or not end you guys, but I don't want to play it too loud where you can hear it. Can you hear that in the background? Somebody let me know in the chat, and I'll scroll down and see if you guys can hear that in the background. If not, great. If so, I'll turn it down a little bit. Praying we don't sign Jonah Williams just because of name recognition. Guy hasn't been good. That's what I heard all of last year. And after looking into him a little bit, him potentially being a free agent option for the Jets, because I believe he got a 1-year deal, right, from the Bengals. I looked into him a little bit. Not good numbers, pressures, sacks allowed, all that stuff. Injured. Okay. So then he has a good year this year, even though, again, relative, how good was it? I don't know. But with that being said, if you have a sample size, and it's kind of like a lot of the players that we've talked about just in general, if he has this is his 5th year. Is his 5th year? He was drafted in the What draft was that? That was before Becton. Becton was 2020. Was it 2019? Was that 2019 or 2018? Maybe 2019. Regardless, I think it's his 4th or 5th year. So if 80% of that, 75% of that has been bad, do we want to sign him on the one good year? No, fuck that. Like, that's no way. Dakota says Jets will win tonight 31-30. How are they scoring that much? I do not know. I'm going to assume you're thinking of a Jets pick 6 or 2 with that, because that's the only way they're scoring 31 versus Browns defense. Myles Garrett is, if not the best pass rusher in the league, he's top 3, top 4. It's him, Parsons, Bosa. He's definitely up there. So yeah, Crosby, you have to give him his flowers this season too. But yeah. Art says, yeah, I think Evans really likes being in Tampa. They took their cap medicine this season. I think they'll work it out. Listen, like people just, and we know this, but people act like it's Madden. And if you offer more money, then you get your guy. But if you were 31 years old, you had, I don't know what you guys, if you have kids, but like if you have, let's say, I don't know, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old in school, they have all their friends, that you won a Super Bowl there, you're getting paid well, you like the weather, you like the taxes. Are you coming to Jersey for 2 years, maybe 3? I personally probably wouldn't. So Agnew, Boyd, and Samuel aren't horrible. Yeah, no, they wouldn't be the worst options, right? But if we're all thinking Pittman, Higgins, and all this stuff, I think we have to be somewhat realistic, right? Because how many times have we talked about these big time free agents coming in, and then we get the B squad or the C squad? So realistically, I don't think it's the worst thing to kind of familiarize yourself with these guys too, because they're probably more realistic. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but I hope they do get a Higgins or something like that. But I could just as easily seeing it be Boyd, and Boyd is like a really good 3 or a bad 2. You bring him in, okay. You have Lazard, who is a whatever Rodgers boy, but you still have to do more after that, right? Like you can't have Wilson, Boyd, Lazard. Like that's still pretty gross. Top 3. It's better than it is right now, but still, it's not great. The real fans are in this chat. We will suffer together tonight. I have the Jets winning an upset before Cooper injury, just because hold on, let me check. He has 6 minutes to put this guy in. Let's see if he is paying attention, because if he's not, he's a bad manager, right? Sorry. So he benched Cooper. Do you know who he's starting now? Garrett Wilson. Fuck. So do not be personally offended if Garrett Wilson scored a touchdown and I say no, even though realistically I'll say yes in my head. I'm like, damn, like I know that obviously hurts me. But I have Breece. He has Garrett. So every red zone trip, if there is one, Breece over Garrett tonight. Even though I think Garrett only needs 42 yards, something like that. 42 yards. Devontae is too old. He had 31 this season, right? Superfan is saying doesn't think Cincy. I don't think Cincy has a lot of room. I could be wrong though. Could be wrong. Jets win tonight, and the Patriots finish in last place for the first time in 2.5 decades. Yeah. In the AFC East. Yeah, obviously Eagle. I don't know that last game though. Like again, do you want to? You have to want to beat the Pats, right, Eagle? Like even if you're rooting for a tank, it's going to be hard to root for the Patriots to beat the Jets again, especially if it's Bill Belichick's last game. Do I want to send that motherfucker out with a sour taste in his mouth, losing to the Jets in your last game? Yeah, I do. I want them to beat the Pats. I can't lie. I can't lie. And you can't. Everybody's going to root differently. It really legitimately does not matter. Do not get Paris Campbell. He's atrocious. Not Raw Circle. All right. Well, I'd be curious. I think we just did an article, Rivka. I don't know if it was. It might have been you in terms of like the top options of a 5 guy, or I don't think it was free agents. That was guys the Jets should re-sign. But looking into some of the options past the top 4 receivers, the Curtis Samuels, the Tyler Boyd's of the world, how do they stack up? And then even some guys below them, because again, all those top 4 guys can realistically not be moved. They cannot be moved, or obviously go elsewhere. They have 31 other teams to choose, right? So, what are you drinking? Like I said before, it's an On the Rocks premium cocktail, Hornitas, whatever, margarita, something. It's like I think it's like it's 20%. It's 40 proof, 20% alcohol. So you drink one of those, it's probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 shots, something like that. And we'll grab some Millers. We'll have a good time. What the fuck did you just drink? Yeah, no, it's just not out of a. I didn't put it in a glass with ice or with salt or anything like that. I don't need salt on the margarita. So, do we need to donate you money to go buy a glass? No, I'm just pretty simple. It all gets delivered the same way. It all goes down the same place. I don't need to pour it in a glass. I think the glass bottle keeps it actually probably cooler. I don't know. I froze it to keep it pretty cool. I agree about Paris Rivka, but doesn't that feel like a typical bargain JD move? But again, and Rivka says not rosterable. So, okay, take her word for it. But is he more rosterable than Jason Brownlee right now? I don't know. So New York football next season will improve a lot. If it does not, I'm going to have serious mental problems, Matt. Serious mental problems. Can't wait to see a Blewett true color show. I feel like I don't necessarily not show the true colors. I feel like I'm pretty honest with you guys all the time. So, but yeah, when you have some beverages, it helps. Pats and the commies win. I've heard that twice this week. I never heard them called the commies. Have to win twice. Giant. Okay, so Pats and Commanders have to win twice. Who are the Pats playing this week? They're playing the Bills though, right? Plus Giants and Chargers and Titans win once. Plus Bears win and Jets lose out. The Jets can still get as low as number 3 pick. I thought it was number 4, Eagle. Not to say you're wrong, but you might be wrong. I honestly don't know. I've heard it was the highest could be 4, but that person could have been wrong too. I'm not sure who I saw on Twitter. The game is also on Fox. Oh yeah. For some reason, I have a Vizio TV and I have a Vizio TV upstairs, which I didn't even think about. I just saw one online that was a good price for Black Friday. But Vizio, I can't download the Xfinity Stream app to Vizio. Like, it doesn't let me download the app. So the only way I can stream to it through my Xfinity is casting it to my TV, and that's a pain in the ass. So I just have Prime on. But wide receiver could be Isaiah Hodgins, Noah Brown, Greg Dortch, Ricky James, etc. Ricky James has some speed, right? Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty. Or I said Richie James. Again, if I'm not mistaken, I could see that being like an option for a 4th or a 5th guy, because with Aaron Rodgers, you do want a deep threat, like a true vertical speed threat, and the Jets don't have that on their roster right now. And I thought that's partial, or that was some of the role that McCole Hardman was going to fill. So, which, by the way, I'm going to try to see if I'm on. I don't know who's staying in here. Again, there's 59, which I'm surprised. Again, there's a ton of people out there right now. So even if there's 10 in here, I'm cool with it. But I'm going to try to tell you guys like where I'm at in the clock to see if we can sync up exactly. Obviously, you're going to have to sync to me, and I can't sync to one of you guys. But I'm curious to see how off we are in terms of the time on the TV. Did you see Ryan's rant at the end of the Washington game? Hilarious. No. Ryan's from Jets Talk? No, but if I'll watch it. Is there a Twitter clip for or something? Like, did he clip it? I'd like to watch it. Joe, you're gonna get a shock when that baby is. Yeah, but like I heard the first 2 weeks they sleep pretty they sleep pretty damn well. So I'll say the baby might sleep, but you won't. It'll be fine. There's 24 hours in a day. I could take naps. Like, I legitimately, I was working midnights for 2 or 3 years, and I was used to sleeping 3 or 4 hours a day during the day, broken up sleeps. So I'm pretty sure I can handle it. Correct. Neighbors is the wide receiver too. Yeah. Orlando Brown went to Cincy. Yes, he did. Wide receiver class is stacked. Yeah. All right. Okay. Just from a physical traits alone, I know for a fact Alt is number 1 on JD's board. Baby on the way, I'm just greedy. I guess Alt is a free. Alt's tall though, very tall, but not the most like sturdy built guy. Like, right, his frame is lacking a little bit, I believe. But I could be wrong. I'm not even watching these guys yet. I watch a little bit of like YouTube cut-ups just to get like a little bit of a feel for exactly what they are. But I got to do my own stuff, and I think that's going to start this weekend. It kind of depends on how this game goes. Like, if the Jets lose, 30 to 10, do I really need to do a review, or is it better to pour my time into Fashanu? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. No, it's all good. Daniel Murphy. I know. I don't know. I have a problem saying Daniel. I would say Danielle when I read that. Back to back for $1 million. Any chance that Corey Davis comes back? He was announced as stepping away, not retired. Yeah, but what are the chances of that? It's not like I could see it if after Rodgers got injured, he's like, fuck it, I'm retiring. Like, I can't do this shit again. But why? Why would he come back? Becton has been elite according to himself. There's no way he actually thinks that. There's no way. Something happened with back. Then he played well in the first half of the year. In the past 3 or 4 games, he's been terrible. I'm not sure exactly what you can't hear it. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. I think Garrett Wilson needs 42 yards. Kickoff coming. The ball was just kicked, and the ball was just bounced. So if we're around the same time. Becton's 4th year. No. Okay, well, yeah, I was talking about Jonah Williams, 2019. Okay, I thought it was the year before. Ton of cap space. Okay. Becton followed me on Twitter, so I won't say a bad word about him. But the Jets and Becton, you have to be able to, man. Like there's some times I put out that bad Becton review. 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13, 12 motion, 11, 10 snap. 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, just to get on the same track if you were trying to. Let me know if anybody else needs it or they're actually trying to get on the same exact track. Okay. Sup, gang? What is up? But yeah, Eagle, you got to be, and obviously it depends for every person, but getting carved up right away. There was a flag, though. I don't know if it was a push-off by Elijah Moore. Let's say it was a push-off. It's going to be a push-off? Come on. Penalty for the Jets? No. There you go. Push-off by Elijah Moore. But yeah, I think Garrett Wilson needs like 42. But for that, I remember specifically Jamal Adams like retweeting a couple of my plays that were good of him. And then the next play, I put up like Jamal Adams, a bad way to play the ball or whatever. And 2 minutes after I put that up, he unretweeted my stuff. So we got 2nd and 15, 21, 2019. That was the okay. Third and 15. If I'm sorry if I'm giving it away, but I'm trying to. You guys can get up to my. Well, actually, you can't, right? Because if you can't pause your TV and you're streaming, I'm sorry, I don't know where you guys are at, but again, first time. Okay, I'm tuned in officially a party now. Cheers, 50 in here. Cheers to you guys. Appreciate you guys. Or 49 in here. Third and 15. Nice.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
3rd and 15, man. I don't understand. Let's see what they're in. It looked like it was quarters. I didn't watch underneath though. I was watching the safety to see what it was. It looked like quarters, so I'm not sure who was underneath. Yeah, not ideal. Like again, the Jets defense has been pretty good, but their run defense and then sometimes situational. Like you if you're an elite defense, you have to get off the field on 3rd and 15. You can't allow that to happen. 3, 2, snap. And here we go. All right. Yeah, now it's a party. John Hassel. Samuel and Boyd's are 3s. Agnew is a 4. Okay. Yeah, I'd agree with Samuel and Boyd are 3s, but with that being said, obviously, so Lazard's a 3 or a 4 at the very best. So you still need to bring another guy, right? So why are you trying to win, Joe? Try to win what? Are you talking about trying to win? Like, why do I root for the Jets to win? I can't help it. Like when they're actually playing, I root for the Jets. Like right now, I'm not actively rooting for him to break tackles and get first downs and shit. Like 3rd and 15, I wanted them to stop. I can't say beat the Jets. Like while they're on, it's almost impossible. Late, any chance we can get Neighbors, can nab Neighbors or Alt? I think they're very possible, right? We could still be at pick 5 or 4. We have to see what happens in this game. Obviously, they're already in the Jets green zone. So we'll see. No wide receiver 2 is available. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm at 9 in the clock, 8 in the clock, 7 in the clock. Play action rollout. Wow. Right over Mosley. First and goal. This is going to go so poorly. This is going to go so poorly. See, the Jets do that sometimes where, like, at that point, you want to see, I would like to see Mosley turn around and relate to anybody in his zone, but just dropping and covering grass. He's following Flacco's eyes, but if you can't relate to the route, then it doesn't really matter because the quarterback can look you off or obviously throw a good ball. So, no, Campbell may not be more raw. Oh, he's that bad. I'm curious what you're watching of him. Looks like a false start on the right tackle, by the way, right there. Touchdown. Flacco right down the Jets defense's throat and scores a touchdown. And again, like the Jets defense is good, but there were and more. It felt like more specifically earlier in the year, it felt like the Jets would let up a touchdown right away. The Cowboys game, they let up a touchdown right away. I'm pretty sure the Pats game, they let up like a field goal or a touchdown right away. The Bills game, I think they got carved up. No, they was a second drive, but they got scored on it pretty early on too. So. Key situations, before the half, letting them drive down your throat the first drive of the game. Last week versus the Commanders, like they're a good defense, but we can't act like they're great at this point because they're not. Realistically, they're not. That doesn't necessarily happen to great defenses. And obviously, if it happens and it's a one-off thing, sure, but it happens. It happens to this defense for sure. You can't get carved up by the Commanders and Jacoby Brissett last week and still call yourself elite. I'm sorry, even if you are tired, but. Thursday Night Football, try to win the game. Obviously, the Browns clinch with a win today, or to clinch the playoffs. And you let them drive right down your throats. 3rd and 15, convert. Not ideal. Not ideal. 20%. This might get hilarious. Happy to be here, but my beer is only 5%. Yeah, but this is only however big. But I call them commies because that's what they used to call communists. Thank you, Rivka. No, I know that, but the Commanders, I don't know. Which by the way, Jets Turbulence, Merry Christmas to you as well. I didn't say anything about that. Merry Christmas to all you guys and whoever celebrates. If you get offended by me saying that, then eat shit. But happy holidays to everybody. Hope everybody had good Christmases. My family was sick, and my wife's family was sick. So with my wife being 9 months pregnant, she was not going to risk getting sick for obvious reasons, especially with her in healthcare. So we pretty much just chilled and watched Christmas movies, which I am very, very fine with. Very, very fine with. Let go of both Becton and Lakin. If you let go of Lakin, you save about, and with a post for June 1st designation, whatever. I think it's 8 million saved, 10 million dead. So the answer or the answer or the question is, can you find a better player than Lakin Tomlinson for $8 million? In my opinion, you can, because he's fucking terrible. So James is more of a slot receiver. Ricky James is fast. Yeah, again, we're talking about receiver 4 here. We're not talking about, a top flight guy. But if he's a slot receiver, even if he's are you saying there's a different fast, right? There's a difference between top end speed and quick. Jamison Crowder, Braxton Berrios were quick. Top end speed is Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is not quick at all, but he's top end speed fast. So even if he's a slot guy, you could still, dagger, whatever. You can take off the top off the defense with a slot guy. But I can see that being an option for that specific reason. Stream the whole game. We'll see. We will see. We'll see. We'll see how you guys are. We'll see how I am after a couple of these. And I don't know. I did not get a decent night's sleep until either of my babies were at least 3 months old. One kid streamed. Oh, I don't know, Rivka. Maybe you were a tolerable person in another life. 20-30-minute cat naps are underrated as fuck. With a kid, I'm sure, but I used to take a ton of naps when I was working midnights. We're gonna end up 7 and 10 again. Oh, the pain. Are we? Nights are not fun. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the first couple of weeks, my wife is going to have to handle that for reasons I'm not going to necessarily stay on stream. I'm positive after 3 or 4 years of watching me stream, you're positive I can handle anything. I don't know about that necessarily. I don't know if I've given you enough into my life, but yeah, I'm sure. Got out of work on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I am off New Year's Eve. Oh yeah, I've been around. Okay, yeah. it's two of you guys who run it, right? And one of you guys is a cop, Joe, right? Joe to Joe. But yeah, I'm out of New Year's Eve. I work Christmas Eve and Christmas just because I don't have kids now. So you put in the hours now, and then hopefully in the future and say, hey, remember all those holidays I worked for you, or all the holidays I did work? Can you cover me with my kids? So that's what I'm hoping happens. But yeah, I'm not working New Year's Eve. And even if I work day shift, so I'm not so concerned about it. Breece Hall ripping a 70-yard touchdown would be very much appreciated in this game because I'm trying to win 1K plus for a fantasy league. Dedicate your time to Fashano. This team at the point of is not worth full reviews. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Got a 15-second delay. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Mosley stinks wide open. Yeah. I don't know what to do if I'm going to see how far behind you guys are. Right now, there's 11 seconds in the play clock. 10, 9, 8. Okay. Snap. Fade to Garrett. Flag. False start. Number 77. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. Second down. Watch. It might not even be that, but defense. Shit. Let me know if you can hear it now. I'm going to put up a little bit more. 17. You just assume when the Jets get a play over 10 yards, it's a penalty. Is that a get even? I don't know if I want to get too technical now, especially when I want to start to pound them. I'm going to try to keep up in the chat too, by the way. Defense is poop. Trying to catch up. Oh, you covered the Giants. Yeah, that's right. I forgot Campbell was on the Giants. Go, Breece. Go, Breece. 20, 25 yards there. I'll take it. Breece is a savage, and like part of his numbers sometimes are they're not good because the offensive line is not good, but he's also a back, like I said last week, who's going to they just ran duo. That was duo and he cut it back because the front side was like jammed up. But he's a boomer or bust runner, and he's more patient at the line and waits for stuff. So the offensive line, and obviously bad offensive lines hurt every running back, but specifically Breece's patient running style is going to hurt him. And that's why Le'Veon Bell was never going to work for the Jets. Never. There was no chance of it working with how he ran behind the offensive line that he did. That was going to work with the Jets. And Breece is kind of a similar ilk, obviously not the same exact running back as a Le'Veon Bell, but he's a guy who will get you 280. And this offensive line is not conducive to a patient running back for obvious reasons. So Browns going back to Super Bowl. Yeah. Mosley has no vertical top. Or Jets will get blown out. Primetime games have been pretty good this year, Ben. Right? Minus the Chargers. That was fucking terrible. 2nd and 5. Where are they? What yard line are they at right now? That was pathetic. Wow. Yeah, no, it's not ideal, right? Opening drive touchdown. Same thing happened with Dallas. You get to Dallas and it's the first drive touchdown. We're like, fuck, man. Like we already know what this game is, especially considering that Rodgers got injured and all that stuff. Run behind Highway 77, right, fellas? Highway 77. Where are those Baldy reviews? 3rd and 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, snap. There we go. Breece, go Breece, go Breece. Touchdown, Breece. Let's go. Drag. There you go. Where is Joe? Drag for a touchdown. Joe Campione. Which, by the way, Joe, I saw your email right before the show today. I didn't really know what you were asking, so got to follow up. I'll message you back. But so they ran a clear out with Conklin to act like a rub. Breece Tutty, let's go. What a start for the fantasy team. Okay, here we go. Going down the chat. I'm 6 minutes behind. PCR, wow, they look just like the 85 Bears. Now, hey, look, it's a tie game again. Can the Jets defense fucking step up? Because let's damn away ahead. Awesome run by Breece. Compare Reggie or no. Reggie was much quicker. And I know Breece's top speed is really good, but Reggie Bush was He was my all-time favorite college player. Like college highlights, anybody in the world ever again, I'm watching Reggie Bush highlights. That guy was amazing in college. I feel like I'm in the future only by a minute. Okay. Touchdown Breece. Yeah, Browns. I fucking love Breece. I should have started Trevor Siemian at quarterback. Yeah, what's your guys' fantasy situations? Any guys in the playoffs? Reggie Bush was much smaller than Breece. Yeah, much smaller. Reggie Bush was more of like a scat back. And that's why I think part of the reason he like failed at the NFL level was that you didn't really use running backs out wide, and you didn't really run them a lot to the sideline. It was much more just like ground and pound football up the middle. They didn't really flex him out and all that stuff. I think if Reggie Bush came out today, he would be a savage. So I have Breece in fantasy, but also starting the Jets D. Ugh. I'm starting. Oh, so I can exit since we're talking about fantasy football right now. Legitimately, I will ask you guys because this is a question I've been asking myself for weeks. One, I need to know two questions because there are two. I need two answers from you guys. One, we got Brock Purdy versus Washington, who is literally the number 5 quarterback in the league right now. So I have Purdy versus Washington or Mahomes versus Cincinnati. Okay, that's the first question. Legitimately want your guys' opinions because right now I'm leaning towards Purdy because versus bad defenses, they carve up teams. And then I have defenses. They're all projected 13, but are you ready? You got Tampa versus New Orleans. You have Texans versus Tennessee. And you have Los Angeles versus the Giants. I picked up all three. I do not know who to start. But right now, it's Tampa versus New Orleans. Houston versus Tennessee might be an option. They got like 19 points last week, but I'm not sure. They better step the fuck up. Defense? Yeah, there you go, Rich. Getting nasty. Which, by the way, Rich, you usually comment, and then I was off for a couple of weeks, and then you didn't really comment. I was like, "But where's my boy Rich? I thought I lost you, Rich." Fantasy carrier, yeah, he won me my league, or he won that game for me last week. That's for sure. The guy has Amari Cooper, but he's out. I honestly feel more comfortable playing Amari Cooper against I rather play Cooper than Garrett Wilson. Like I would have rather Cooper have played today for fantasy purposes. Because I think Garrett will get more than Cooper would have tonight, considering he's facing Sauce. Which, by the way, Sauce had that amazing play versus McLaurin last game. He's been amazing. He's really, really been great. The first couple of games of the year, he had his hiccups, and sometimes he's really frustrating in the run game. And the Dallas touchdown that he allowed obviously wasn't great, but overall since then, I think he's allowed like 50 yards the last 5 games, like 10 yards a game. He's been absurdly good. But let's see. Rich Cimini's post. I don't follow him. I don't care to. You tell me his post. I would go with Purdy for a bounce back. I'm with Eagle. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Texans versus Tennessee. Rams defense. Rams, really? Yeah, but it's Tyrod though, and Tyrod has been better. He's been solid with them, right? And it's a Giants home game though. That's the Athens. That I don't know. The Rams are my number 3 out of those. Q held? No. Okay. Why can't we pick the quarterback? That looks like it was a tough catch there, but Tony Imes got to catch that, man. At least it looks like it. Looks a little wet. And I'm not of the mind if it touches your fingers, you got to catch the ball, but let's see if it hits you got to catch that ball. We have the worst hand defense in the league. Oh! Was that not a hold? I'm not one to ask for holding, but he grabbed him by the shoulder pad. 3, 2, 1. Draw. And a first down. This run defense is booty, and it's been booty all year, fellas. And ladies, but the run defense is embarrassing. Well, in terms of it being, considered the best defense or one of the best defenses, the run defense is pretty gross. Let's see. My bad, Joe. I guess I'm the one that needs to step. Yeah, you do. Carved up on in the ground game. This has happened pretty frequently. The Cowboys game, they carved them up. I know in the Texans game they didn't run the ball a lot, but they seem to be pretty effective. This game they're carving them up. There was plenty of games the Jets have gotten shit on in the run game. It's a legitimate one. It's one of the problems with this defense. Pass rush will be great, all that stuff, but the run defense is not good. Quarterback as a coin flip is Purdy playing for sure. Yeah, he's playing. And Mahomes versus the Bengals, man. The Mahomes he's great, but he can't overcome his lack of talent. And that last game, oh my God, he got the ball back. That last game against what the fuck was I just saying? The Raiders, dude. I'm watching that, and I just need a touchdown, just a touchdown from Mahomes to secure my victory in fantasy. And he was pretty bad. Like his eyes were dropped inconsistent. Like that wasn't just a Mahomes that wasn't just like, oh, the receiver stuck too. Like Mahomes actually kind of sucked in that game a little bit. So hold on. 2nd and 18. That was a good job by Mosley at defeating the stiff arm. A lot of people will just run into that stiff arm, and obviously they'll get stiff arm, but you have to defeat it, aka chop at it. It's pretty fucking simple. But Mosley did a good job there with that. Well, look at how much Quinn is held. Do you guys ever see how much we get held every game? I think people think it happens to their teams more so than other teams, just because people don't understand necessarily like the latch of the chest plate. Not necessarily illegal. If you're grabbing like inside the shoulder pads, you're allowed to grab them. But yeah, outside the shoulder pad and scooping up of it, you're not allowed to do. Dude, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, getting roasted in the run game. They're going to allow back-to-back touchdowns on defense. Again, it's not the most encouraging thing for this defense the last couple of weeks. Their last 3 quarters have been like bad. Not just like, okay, below expectations. They've been bad. Yeah, that's Mosley has to be way in more control there. He looks like he's like walling, which basically you're just going to take out a guy 5 yards and gashed in the run game. Kareem Hunt, touchdown, back-to-back touchdowns. Come on, man. Yeah. Is there a Wood type that we can sign in for agency to stop the runs? I'm sure there's going to be like a run stuffer out there. But it's also just the philosophy of the defense that everybody pushing vertical all the time. Yeah, see, that was on. They designed that run. At least it looked like to get to Bruce Hector. I don't know if it was like a pin and fold or a trap. But they specifically went at Bruce Hector on that one because to guard that he'd have to not push up field as much. And then, attack the puller or whoever it was to obviously close that running lane down. But he was not able to. So that was a run specifically for a guy who is a UDFA. Again, why is he in on 1st and goal? That's a question for a different day. Don't start Mahomes. Yeah, this sucks. Mosley, please bench Mosley. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Mosley this game so far. But yeah, he needs to be more control. But he's supposed to wall him off right there. So he's just opening up to the passing strength. And then when he's walling him off, anything within 5 yards, he's pretty much just going to check him and then match. So he was supposed to kind of light him up right there. But you have to be cognizant of one, how much spacing is there, who are you playing, etc. But we don't want to get over our toes and then miss and then let up a huge drag. So yeah, not ideal. Allow the most 3rd and 9. Yeah. 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 15. 2 drives back to back. You're not supposed to let that happen. Yeah. Defense truther. Me. I'm not a truther. If I'm shitting on the defense, am I a truther? I feel like I'm not defending the defense. So I think I'm not a truther. Best yada yada yada. Yeah. Is Mosley throwing the game? Why is he blitzing? So I didn't even see that he blitzed sauce on that one. Purdy is ranked 5. Mahomes 6. That's a tough one. Joe, go with your feelings. Yeah. Old man Mosley can't cover Njoku. Why slow old Mosley on Njoku? How stupid Tank is on? No, it's, Again, he was supposed to be walling him, and even if he wasn't walling, like a wall technique, he could have just been opening up to the passing strength. He's like a hook to, or just in a hook zone. That could be possible as well. But even if you're opening to the passing strength in the hook zone, you still got to keep your feet under you. So either way, whether it be a hook zone or he's actually supposed to be like a wall technique, then no. Put in Surratt, the guy can play. Talk about stupid. Worst scheming and manageable. Salah is a lousy coach. Defense is overhyped. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Sauce came off the corner and Flacco rolled away. Oh, he came off like a cat blitz, like he was blitzing off the edge. Wouldn't anticipate the defense getting driven on 2 times in a row. It's rough. 21 total points in the first 3 drives. At least the moment the game is exciting. Yeah. Lack of effort from Sauce. Yeah, I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing there. Maybe it's on Twitter or something like that, where you guys are seeing lack of effort, unless he was in like a curl to flat zone where he was supposed to drop off, which could look completely like lack of effort. Bro. Izzy fumble on the kick return, which happened. What you had Gibson muff it versus Buffalo. You had Gibson give at least 2 or 3 away. Now Izzy fumbles it. Yeah, not embarrassing. Or it's embarrassing. The Jets punt returners at this point and kick returners. They fumbled quite a few this year. Yeah, and here we go.
What the hell is even that?
Here we go. Browns ball in the red zone. Will the Jets make a stop here? Probably. They probably will. Now it'll be like they'll allow 3 points, but I don't know. That's game. How embarrassing. Yeah, no, it's game. Yeah, that's it. Rich, you're right. As Jets fans, we should know this. We should have known it from the first drive when he scored a touchdown. It's probably not going to be the best game, but can they hold him to a field goal? We'll see. 7-8 yards on flag in a secondary, maybe a pick. It might have been a pick on 88. Is 88 Hunter Bryan? I think. Yeah, pass interference. That's what I'd assume it was. Like it looked like a rub route. Can the returner hold the ball? Ian, no, they cannot. It's happened quite a bit with the Jets this year. I know a lot of people shit on Jeremy Curley, but I would like that guy back there because at least he can catch and not fumble, because Gibson's fumbled a plethora of times. And now Izzy's first kick return or second or third. I don't know how many he's had, but not many. Hey. That was a little bit of a soft illegal pick. Not gonna lie, but we'll take it. Oh, okay. They pick up the flag. All right, 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. I thought this was gonna be a defensive slugfest. Huh? Tank is on for Sean. Here we come. Or alt. We can still do alt. While we're looking at the Commanders did on Sunday, giving points away. Yeah, the defense, the last 5 drives? You're talking about minus a drive where the Commanders completely gave it to us. We're going to eliminate that drive from the last couple of drives. They have given up 5 touchdowns in the last 5 drives. Not good. Can they stop them here? Q says yes. Q says yes. Yes, we can. Got stuff right there. All right, let's go. Salah has a type shit. Play the flag. Missing Barrios. No. No, I'm not going to say that either. Kenny Yeboah. Is Kenny Yeboah better than Uzama? Probably not, but maybe. I don't know. Holy Quinn and gave him the stunner. Yeah, Q is still a savage. That's for sure. Are they going for it? 4th and 4 in the red zone when you're up by 6 points is extremely disrespectful. So they better fucking stop right here. And he jumped off. That was a false start on the right tackle, by the way. And they didn't complete. Let's go.
Quarterback.
Good shit, Jets. All right. Man, I'm angry right now. Joe on the first touchdown, it was obvious lack of effort on Sauce's end. You don't think so? Oh, no, Rich, I didn't really watch the replays. I have to watch it again in terms of and like really know what he was supposed to do. But it looked kind of similar to the play that he allowed in the Cowboys game, where there's a tight end in the flat right there. But I would like to see, is it on Twitter? Does anybody have it on Twitter? Who would shout it out? Show me that first touchdown. Jets ball, want to take, yeah, not taking the points there is a bad decision, in my opinion. You're up 6, you make it 2 scores there. I don't understand it. There's no reason to have to show like overconfidence right there. Do you think the Jets are really going to score 9 more points versus you in this game? Probably not, but hey. Bad decision by them, in my opinion. But let's see. Sauce. Is it on Twitter? Is he getting blown up? Yeah, somebody's gonna like okay, there you go. Yeah, okay. You're talking about in a tackle attempt. Well, one on that touchdown. Yeah, well, one on that touchdown. It was. I'm looking at it now. The replay of it. It's there's like a monster split right there, and he's a little bit tighter, and then he pushes vertical to rub off with Sauce, and then or to rub off Tony Adams and allow the running back to get a couple of extra yards before he makes a move on the defender. Tony Adams does a really bad job there getting over the top. I'm just watching the replay on broadcast, but really poor job just in terms of noticing the alignment. When you have a really tight split from a receiver and then a running back flex out to that side, it's a really big tip off for rub-offs and things like that. So that's one. Just the formation, he should notice that it's probably going to be a rub, or at least there's a high percentage chance of a rub. And he's really late getting out to the rub. Actually, I should probably bring this up on my phone or on Twitter so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But yeah, he's a little bit late getting over the rub, and then tackle attempt, and then Sauce assumes a tackle. Yeah, that's you want to see him be more aggressive there. You want to see him be more aggressive for sure. He just kind of taps him out of bounds. He just assumed he was tackled, which you can't not do. Cannot do. That is a lack of effort by Sauce. Again, I thought Rich, I kind of bobbled it there just because I thought it was something with somebody talking about like Sauce falling off or whatever. I thought you might have been talking like a curl to flat zone in a cover 2 where he let the guy go vertical, and maybe some just didn't know what they were watching. But yeah, that was bad. Handoff, Breece cuts it back 7-8 yards. 7-8 yards. Looks like it was like an inside zone. Inside zone, he cut back. Take the field goal. Wow, they're killing my tank love. Are you on the tank train, super fan? What is the whoop-ah sound? Jealous beanbag. Have you ever seen that the video of the surfer where he's like, I don't even know what he says. Like, I went down, I smacked the lip, I got so pitted. That's the video. I'll show it to you guys on YouTube real quick, just so you guys know where that sound effect is from. We'll do it on a commercial though. I didn't see what just happened. That's the only problem with this. Surfer, bro. But a scramble by a Simeon, who is probably one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the NFL, as you guys know. Yeah, commercial. We're going to do the whoop-ah sound, so you guys know where that is. We got this one too. You blew it! Which you guys, if you guys don't know, then shame on you, especially if you're around my age or even a little bit older. Even if you're younger and you don't know Adam Sandler. Pick 6 for Trevor Simeon. This is going well. Oh, man. We're going to go from 50 to 10 real quick. I'm just going to jump off. Oh, man. There we go. Check it out again and let me know what you think. In my opinion, total lack of effort. Great stop, though, by the Jets. Give them credit. Yep. That was a couple minutes ago. Show how little respect Stefanski has for the Jets' overhyped defense. I'm surprised I didn't go to joke again. Yeah. Breece. Good grief. Wow. Pick 6. Game over. Right tackle's getting killed. Billy Madison. Yeah. All right. Can the Jets answer? Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Joe got the same reaction as Robert Saleh right now. Just wow. Nothing. Yeah. It's not fun. Okay. So Until the Jets come back, let's watch this. Let's watch this. Here we go. Window, entire screen. No, we want to do that. We want to do this. Share. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this now. I hope.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local.
But the park is still flooded, so you'll see kids out there again.
Some of those kids today will be my co-hosts.
It's just like, dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah! Drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the barrel and get pitted. So pitted like that.
Well, actually, you know what?
So that is the origin of the wah sound. That is one of the classic videos of my life. I didn't even see the pick and what was happening there. He just didn't see him. At least it's what it looks like. He threw it right to him. How long can this team go? At least another 3 quarters. Xavier Gibson with a big return, ish. Yeah, they don't have a returner for next year too. That's not necessarily a thing that is looked at right now. You know, we need receiver 2, tackle, left tackle, right tackle, safety, all that stuff. But in my opinion, Xavier Gibson has not done enough to secure the punt return, kick return spot. And clearly, with the Jets putting in Izzy, they don't think enough or a lot of Xavier Gibson. Obviously, unless they are saying, okay, not much left in the season. Let's see what we have in Izzy as a kick returner. But at the same time, if they were happy with Gibson, they probably don't put him back there anyway. So they just need a returner because Gibson isn't it. And clearly, I'm not saying Izzy's not it after one fumble, but after one fumble. So let's see. Top 10 pick. Here we come. This stuff makes me laugh. Yeah, it never really ends. It never really ends. Well, when I'm not emotionally invested, it's funny stuff. Yeah, it's at this point, it's numbness, right? Like I don't get mad. If this was week 3 and we were 2-1 or 1-2 and the season still mattered, I would get a lot more mad. But right now, why? You say it's not going to happen, but I see you turning. Keep the alcohol flowing. Yeah, the tequila is done, or the tequila is done. So we're gonna grab a Miller or two. The next commercial. Joe B, who's playing right tackle for us tonight? Is that Warren? Yes, 67. Yeah, you got Warren, you got Hanson, Tippmann, Tomlinson. Nobody picks up Garrett. Probably a hold. Yep, Gibson got a first down. It's a hold. It has to be a hold. We got a first down, right? How can Woody watch the product on the field and say, I want a repeat of this next year? It's beyond me because they're just banking on Aaron Rodgers. Illegal formation. Route is on. They're bad, yes, but the Jets consistently shoot themselves in the footer and BB feast on that. Yeah, talking about the Jets against the Pats next week. Obviously, let's see. Ooh, Garrett Wilson, some Wildcat. It did not work at all. Got tackled for a 3-yard loss. Oh, God. Izzy didn't switch the ball. That's why the fumble. Yeah, obviously you want to switch the ball to the opposite hand. I wonder where the Jets, where we can get in the draft order. Eagle says it's 3, Rich. I thought it was only 4. I thought 4 was the lowest they can get. I could be wrong. But yeah, 3 or 4. Awful call. What was that? It's a line back. Hackett trick plays must be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I gotta. The problem with the chat and watching the game is I can't really watch the replays. So I'm trying to pay attention to the chat, but the Jets are about to go 3 and out anyway. So 3 and out. Browns will drive another field goal. 23 to John Hassel. I got a new toothbrush today if anyone needs cheering up. It's good, John. Now, question is, did you? And this will be like, I'll really judge you on this. Did you buy a new toothbrush because it was time to buy a new toothbrush, or did you buy a new toothbrush because you were sick? Because you bought a new toothbrush without being sick. You're probably a pretty cleanly individual, but I only buy a new toothbrush, I feel like, when I'm sick. So that's kind of what happens. 2-minute in the huddle. Jets keep moving back. Here we go. Salah, no reaction, nothing. Not talking to nobody. We have next year, guys. Don't worry. We have next year. If we get pick 3, who are we leaning towards? If we get pick 3, slow-mo guy, based on everything I've heard, you take Harrison Jr. because he is a generational receiver prospect. You take the best player, and Harrison Jr. seems like that. You address tackle elsewhere if you have a generational talent, in my opinion. If he is truly generational, because I've heard generational tags when guys aren't generational. So 3rd and 16, let's see what the Jets do. Little check down. Yep, of course. Breece, hey, we'll take it. Breece will take it. Breece will take it. Lowered his helmet. Go on, give me a flag. Give me a bailout flag. Oh, the frick, hey, coach on the sideline, roughing. Nothing? We got nothing here? 12 men, sweet Christmas. Oh, yeah, by the way, which I even mentioned from last week, the Jets got was it 14 penalties for 150 yards last week too? We talked about how shitty it was. 150 yards on penalties is absurd. Absurd amount of penalties last game. So it's not just Rodgers. Like the Jets had to get their fucking head out of their ass too. Morstead, 12 men. Hanson not playing bad. Yeah, last game he honestly didn't play so bad, but you still don't want him starting. Can Morstead pin inside the 10? That is the question. Wow. It went in. It looked like it went in the end zone. Fuck. That was like millimeters. If one of my friends was here, I would say his package. We're his package away from getting that ball at the inches mark. All right. Man, I hope that we lose the next 2 because we clearly need a great tackle, but they need to at least make this respectful. But they need to at least to make this respectful.
What the hell is even that?
Hold on. I'll be back. All right. We're refreshed now. We got the refreshments. They're heading for 16 penalties. Yeah, last week was it 14? I think it was like 14 for 150. Because it vibrates. 12 men in the huddle. What a coach. You're supposed to replace your toothbrush like every 3 months. Yeah, I don't know if I'm on that. I think it's like every time somebody's sick, which seems to be, I think I'm sick like once or twice a year. So I feel like we're probably about every 6 months type of deal. Q Styles Colgate commercial. Jets are a generational bad team. I wouldn't say that, considering the fact they have 6 wins. 7 wins? No, 5 wins. 5 wins. Right? No, we have 6 wins. We're 6-9, right? Correct? 6-9. Generational punter. Yeah. I know a guy who attended the.
What the hell is even that? What the hell is even that?
This is great coaching. Hackett can't count the men in the huddle. Jets can't line up correctly. Yeah, we have a illegal formation. We have too many men in the huddle. It's not the smoothest operation on offense. That is for sure. But again, we are numb to it at this point, right? You can't get too mad. He's got to puke too much swigging the moonshine. No. Respectable. I'm drinking too, Joe. No, we're not throwing up. I haven't. Story for a different day. That's a story for a different day. I don't know. It's been a while. We're good. We are good. Cheers again. Oh, I don't like Miller anymore. It's gross. It is. It's like my generic go-to beer for like tailgates and stuff, but not a big fan. Not anymore. 1st and 10, handoff, outside zone, tackle, Michael Clemens. They're going to figure out I'm a fucking beast, Michael Clemens. All right. Might as well go with the Wildcat. Pitted Joe got so pitted. It's a great video. It is. Jets have the most L's in the last decade. Yeah, it's the Jets and the Giants, right? I think the two New York teams, which if you think about it, the amount of losses that MetLife has seen, like I wonder if MetLife in the last 10 years, or they opened in 2010, right? So I wonder if the Jets in the last 13 years have seen more losses, or MetLife has seen more losses in the last 13 years than Lambeau. Great tackle, Solomon Thomas. Fucking terrible missed tackle there. But yeah, I wonder if MetLife has seen more losses than Lambeau. 13 years of MetLife and 60 years of Lambeau. MetLife has probably seen more losses. For real. Story for a different day. Yeah, no. I have some stories. When I'm telling you guys, like, I was legitimately like the prototypical, like, I don't want to say that, like, football douche, like, stupid kid in high school. That was me. Like, I was an idiot. I still am an idiot, but high school specifically. And we have an encroachment on Solomon Thomas. All right. Here we go. I'm a Peroni man. Yeah. I like if it's like generic beer, like very generic. I'm like a dinner. It's Yingling, but I like Spot and I like Paulaner. I like German beers, like Dunkels. I like wheats. I like red ales. I am not an IPA guy at all. I am not a sour guy. If you give me that sour shit, like if I see a beer and it's like, citrusy sour apple, I'm like, fucking disgusting. It's all tastes like cough medicine. But yeah, I like dark beer for the most part, dark beer. But Miller is the only thing I had because my buddy brought it over and I knew they were here. So Jordan Whitehead, wow, Mosley and fucking did Quincy just drop that, bro? Someone else got it. The Jets got it. But Mosley mollywopped that man, and Quincy dropped it. Probably down. No, he was definitely up. He was jumping. Yeah. Replay showed he was jumping. And then Quincy can't grab it because he's looking to run before he actually secures it. Mosley jumps back on it, looks like. Oh. You love that from Mosley too? Well, it's not a win-lose. Transparently, if you're the first guy there, should you be punching the ball out? No. When you're down 20-7, the first guy there, when he's not looking at you, should you punch the ball out situationally? Okay. Come on, Breece. 2 yards, killing it. But yeah, you're in terms of like punching the ball out, you're supposed to punch the ball out when you're the second guy there and the tackle's already secured. But in a situation where the guy's not looking at you, you're down 20-7 on the road. Punching the ball out, sure. Like we're cool with it. If not just ball, yeah. No, Rich, he was definitely down. Rich he's not drinking. He's on some edibles. He's smoking a little bit, something. But that one was obvious. 2nd and 8. Garrett on a fade. 2 for 2 on Garrett fades. Oh, they're going to say he didn't catch that through the ground, right? You got to hold the ball for 17 seconds after you go to the ground, but we'll see. And with that being said, Garrett, even last week, there was a ball or two I feel like he should have caught. There were some times where he's listen, Garrett is great. Do I want to see him hold on the ball more consistently? Yes. Yeah, they're going to say he didn't control that through the ground. Quincy with the butterfingers. Will the butterfingers. Mosley punching the ball out because he feels pressure. Yeah, no, for real, Kev. That's what I'm saying. You're down 20-7. You can punch that ball out. Garrett Wilson screen. Didn't get there. Fuck. Totally agree with that. Garrett is a great, but not elite. Yeah, no, Garrett is great, but exactly. He's not top 5, top 10 yet, in my opinion. There is some times where, and obviously with Aaron Rodgers, with Burrow, with Mahomes, with, any upper echelon quarterback, even an average quarterback to a low level starter, he does better than he does right now. But there's plenty of times whether it be, I don't know if he's fumbled the ball, but there's been a couple drops this year. And even in the last game against the Commanders, there was a drop, maybe 2 that I remember. But there's at least 1 drop. I'm like, dude, you got to stop dropping the ball. Like, some situations where you want to see him win. Oh, not the best punt from Morstead there. It's a very rare shank you see from Morstead. So let's see. Commercial. Now we have Burger King commercials, which always start to look better. Always start to look better when you're a few deep. If we pick Neighbors, Garrett becomes the best slot receiver in the NFL. Is he strictly an outside guy, Kev? I'll watch Neighbors. I'm gonna watch Neighbors, Coleman, again, Latham, Fashanu, and Bowers at a minimum. Those 5 guys, and I'll have full blown reviews and whatever. And then past that, we'll see. We'll see how much I get done in the month. And then we get into free agency, and hopefully I'm doing a full blown review on, T. Higgins. Like that would be, I think that's probably my number one option right now is signing T. Higgins to a long term deal. I would say 2, getting Evans for a year or 2 deal. Adams 3, just because I love Adams, but 31 years old, a lot of capital to get him, and then obviously a lot of cap space as well to get him. So he's my 3, and then I would say Pittman's probably my 4 in that order. He's definitely had some rough fumbles. Garrett also had that fumble last year versus was that the Jags? No, the Bears. What game was it where Garrett Wilson got an end around or something where he was running the ball and he fumbled it and was able to recover it? What game was that? I forget what game that was, but he had a bad fumble in that game too. I think that's actually the Bills game. The Bills win last year. I think I'm pretty sure that's when Garrett fumbled the ball. He obviously recovered it too, but also he's not enough of a deep threat or close to good enough at contested catches. Deep threat not really there so much, and then contested catches. Yeah, I would say you want a higher win percentage than he has for an elite receiver. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to throw out the air quotes to say that he's not a really good receiver. I think he's a number 1. He's definitely a top 20 guy. I'm talking about getting from 18, 17, 15, 16 to 5 to 4 to 1. He has the talent to do that, but he drops the ball a little bit too much. So. Joe, you got to watch DNs for the draft because that's what we're picking. Let's hope not, right? Let's hope not in a Super Bowl or bust type of year, or at least a playoff or bust. Let's call it a playoff or bust year next year. You better not take a DN. So one other thing I'm going to point out about this game so far too is on first down there, the Jets pass rush has been a little bit disappointing to me. I can't, again, I didn't watch the film of last week yet, but the Texans game, regardless of what the numbers were, just eye test and watch and obviously watching the film too, a little bit disappointing. This game too, so far. Flacco's a statue and is standing in the pocket pretty cleanly right now. Even that rep, he was in the pocket for quite a bit there without much pressure. So the Jets pass rush has to step up right now. There you go. Yeah, fuck Elijah Moore though. Even though I'm wearing his jersey right now, or am I? Okay, hold on. Scrolling down. Stomo guy. Oh yeah. I covet 4 guys. Harrison Jr., Neighbors, Alter, Fashanu. Yeah, you're Avital. I get that because you're talking about receiver 1, 2, tackle 1, 2. The Jets' biggest needs: tackle, receiver. That's. I think we're all in the same boat as you right now. That was another false start on a. Wow, dude, our fucking corners cannot catch, bro. That looks like it was right into Michael Carter's hands again. Let's watch. Patient off the line, 2 shuffles in, press, gets his eyes back. Elijah Moore might have got a hand in there. Yeah, got a hand in there. Okay. Good concentration from Elijah Moore. Damn, bro. All right. Fantasy update. Let's check. Okay. 1st and 10. Play action. Flacco rollout, deep shot, wide open because fucking Reed, dude. I love Reed, but Reed bites a lot. If you guys didn't notice, the play against the Texans, he got burned on. The ball wasn't thrown there. The Dolphins, he got burned on. Ball was there. That was on a double move by Warren. Play action here, burned. I'm assuming it was him, and he's beat deep. So Reed is good. To put Reed in the same category as Sauce is a mistake. Reed is not Sauce. Reed is a solid starting corner, but he's not elite. I'm sorry, again, just transparency. He's solid. He's a solid corner. He's a solid 2 corner. But he gets burned a lot in terms of biting on play action and stuff. Dude, Quincy, make that tackle. Quincy's another guy too. He's dropped off a little bit since his like all pro start. He was good last week, but he's dropped off a little bit too. He has. Rich says, don't care about receivers in the draft. We need a tackle, so kind of hope we lose this, but like I said, not in embarrassing fashion. Yeah. Don't care about receivers in the draft, but at the same time, if you're pick number 3 or 4 and Marvin Harrison Jr., who's legitimately considered to be the best receiver prospect since Calvin Johnson came out, or Julio Jones came out, do take him there. Or at 3, I would say so. But at that point, you also prepare differently for free agency, right? Like if you're pick 3, let's say, and you know that it's most likely going to be Harrison Jr., you probably plan your free agency a little bit different. Obviously, if you're the pick 2 and like it was locked, yes, but can we sign a few top free agents with Ohani type deferments? Yeah, like 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, a bunch of millions when you're in a tax-free state. Yeah, I hope. And 3rd and inches. And clearly gets it on a sneak. Clearly gets it. All right, let's see what the Jets defense has. Got to stop them for a field goal at the minimum here because they're not. It's over already. This is unreal. Reed, come on, bro. 2 drops, interceptions. MC2 has stone hands. Yeah, MC2 dropped a pick this game and a pick a few games ago as well. That was what game was that? Is that the Dolphins game? I don't know. I don't know what game that was, but it was over the middle where he dropped the pick, like right in the middle of the field. Play action rollout, dump off, Elijah Moore, drop. Probably not the worst drop in the world. Isn't the X receiver more of a big body guy? Usually, it's a guy who can get off of press and who could win isolated routes. That's more so what it is. It doesn't have to be a big body. If you can win isolated, then you're an X receiver. You don't have to be a big body guy to be an X receiver. And Antonio Brown can be an X receiver all day. 2nd and goal. At 12 in the play clock, 11, 10, 9. Run. Stuffed. Can't call the secondary elite when they don't force turnovers. Yeah, I wouldn't even call the defense elite or sorry, the secondary elite anyway, Elon, because I think your corners are elite, but your safeties aren't. You're not going to find a better trio in the NFL than Reed, because Sauce is legitimately he's the best corner or 2nd best or 3rd best in the NFL, right? Reed is a top tier, if not the best or top 5, number 2 in the league. And then Michael Carter II is a top 5 to 10 corner or a slot corner in the league as well. So even though Reed just got beat by Elijah Moore for a touchdown. By the way, let's see. Reed is good. People overhype him a little bit. 27-7. Let's see what happened. Yeah, so Reed there. And I'm Marcus would agree with me here too, which by the way, Marcus Coleman, who's been on the show with me a lot. There's no reason to retreat from the goal line. You want to stay pretty flat on the goal line. If you're going to back up from the goal line, they cut on the goal line, where obviously a lot of routes are going to go to the goal line and guard past the goal line. You play that goal line hard, and backing up 2 yards, 3 yards from the goal line and then cut underneath you is not the best idea. Yeah, Reed's getting cooked this game. Not a good few weeks for Reed. So the last few weeks I've been a little bit lower. I'm falling off a little bit. Process versus results. I know a lot of people won't talk about the Texans game as a bad game for Reed, but at the same time, if he allowed a 60-yard touchdown, people will be talking differently about him. But a lot of people are results first process because the process you actually have to watch. The result you don't have to watch. You can just Google stats or next gen stats or PFF. So a lot of those sites have taken out. They've made the lazy seem less lazy when they're still lazy. So Saul is garbage. Rich, are you okay with Lazard at number 2 receiver? Yeah, I think he's talking about the draft specifically, Eagle. I think you can get a receiver in free agency, but Lazard as a 2 is a huge mistake. Even Lazard as a 3 is more so a mistake than not. But with that being said, with Rodgers having the chemistry with Lazard, then sure, him as a 3 is fine. Still not preferred, right? Like he's not even playing right now. Is he not playing because he's sick? Is he not playing because he's busy with soccer? Is he not playing because he's, hurt? I don't know. Probably because he's too busy at soccer, though. He's playing for, the Red Bulls or some shit, or practicing for the Red Bulls right now. Got 5 yards on that sneak. Yeah. Thanks, Joe, for the live stream. Enjoy your candidate assessment. Yeah, is it? Should we do this? Should we start doing this for away games? Even though my wife is like, oh yeah, I want to watch the Jets games and stuff, which she does. She does for the games they're in, but like the last couple of weeks, she's not in. She's not in. She's a front runner, which is fine. Which is fine. All right. No, Eagle. I'm saying sign a receiver in free agency. Not sure why you Jets fans don't understand why you can't just sign good tackles.
Quarterback.
Some beef. No, it's and with that being said, Rich, like there are years where you could sign better tackles in free agency. Like, there are years where there's a guy or 2 or 3 out there. This year there ain't shit. There really is not shit. So it's you sign a guy or 2 who could be a placeholder at one of the tackle positions, and you draft a guy. It's most likely what's going to happen because there's not 2 guys. We're looking for one guy in a free agency class where there might not be any. So you need 2. You probably have to draft a guy, right? A.D. Mitchell, hidden gem and receiver in the draft. Why, Chris? Though why? You tell me why he's a hidden gem. See, maybe something you guys don't understand though. Ooh.
Quarterback.
Rich is getting aggressive. Rich is letting the beers flow. He's letting the beers flow. Rich is getting aggressive. I like it. I'm here for it. Give me some entertainment. Elijah Moore TD, yeah. Reed has looked like garbage the past few weeks. Yeah, I like Reed. I legitimately do. Sack. By who? Let's watch a replay. Garrett, I'm going to go with Carter Warren. Nope. Beckton. Highway 77. Dude, that guy oversets more than anybody in the league. Watch you overset. One of the funny thing too about that overset is you had Bawden as a chip blocker. So if you have outside help, what are you going to do? You're going to stay more to the inside. What does Becton do? Oversets. Becton is balls, bro. Balls. Don't give me the fucking injury shit, which, by the way, and I said it would happen. The last time I did a film review, I said there was going to be some guy who comes out here, injury this, injury that. I had like a 45-paragraph message about his a tear, a level 2, this and that, and this and that, and he can't extend off of his foot, and that's why he's not playing well. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking answer that motherfucker. But the guy sucks. He sucks. He overset with a chip to the outside. With a chip to the outside, you have outside help, so maybe sit inside. What does Becton do? Overset. Fuck it. Guy's so bad. He's so bad. And the thing about Becton too is, I haven't liked him as a human either. I'm sorry. He just seems like a douche. So I am a left tackle. Highway 77, big bust t-shirt. Why don't you just play well and shut up? I'm sorry to be that guy, shut up and play, but I kind of am that guy, shut up and play. Okay. The route is on once again. Jets can't intercept passes thanks to Carter anymore. Kicking reads in Carter's butt. Yeah, it's not looking good right now, fellas. 27-7. Yeah. All right. I'm not there. I'm sure you're gonna read a little bit. Reed's still a good corner too, but people compare kind of Reed and Sauce like a similar elk, like, oh, they're both really great. And obviously I would say it's more so like Sauce is obviously it's higher praise, but people think that Reed is like a corner one. I wouldn't be happy with Reed as a corner one. I think Reed is a very good corner too. And that's not shitting on the guy, but he has limitations. He has size limitations. He gets beat by double moves. He sucks. He gets sucked up on play action. There are some things that are not great about Reed. So the good thing is Ulbrich doesn't look to be going anywhere. Ulbrich, even if the Jets were playing better the last few weeks, Slomo guy, I don't think he goes anywhere anyway, because a DC under a defensive coach it's not the best hire. It's just not. Hiring Bieniemy as a head coach was unlikely to happen because he was under a offensive guru in Andy Reid. So how much is he really doing there? So people, and obviously people bring in the race shit because people love to bring in race shit all the time, but maybe it's just the fact that he is under an offensive coach, or maybe he doesn't interview well, but people, it just is what it is. I'm not gonna get into that, especially with beers, and I'm not gonna try to get in trouble. All right. Same old Jets, no coaching and throwing the game. Thanks, Salah. Now let Patriots kick your rear. I am glad this season's over soon. I am glad. I am glad to be watching Fashanu and T. Higgins when we sign him, and a bunch of the other guys who we're gonna get. So, what would you give up for Devontae Adams? What would I personally give up, or what are the Jets gonna give up? It kind of depends, right? Like, are Evans or Pittman or are Higgins realistic options? If they're not, if Higgins, Evans, all these guys, get tagged, signed, whatever, then Adams' price goes up. But like right now in a vacuum, without like knowing what's going to happen in free agency, I would say like a second and a fifth round pick, and that's about it. A second. I would say second and a little bit sprinkled on, but you got to consider his contract too, right? Which Rivka's gonna shit on me, but Devontae Adams contract. Like, let's see what they. I'm gonna fuck it up anyway, to be honest here, but let's see what they do. What his contract is. So 2024, he's a $25 million cap number, and in 2025, he's $44 million. So if Rodgers is gonna play 2 more years, and then even after, hold on. So Hunter Bryant, you have Ashton Davis missed tackle. Okay, so if you get rid of him in 2025, you have 15 dead, 28 million savings. You're going to keep him for $28 million. And then in 2026, even if he's cut, you have 78.8. So you have to keep him for probably 2 years. And he's going to cost you, in a total of 2 years, he's going to cost you $69 million. Is he worth $34.5 million a year? And again, I'm a complete asshole in terms of like reading cap numbers and stuff, but I see legitimately on OTC, when he's 31 years old, and his cap number for 2024 is $25 million, and his cap number for 2025 is $44 million. If that's right, we'll even kind of lowball it. Is Devontae Adams worth $30 million and a second round pick? Or would you rather sign Evans or sign Higgins or sign Pittman and not have to give up capital? So it's why he's on the lower tier of my options for what I want the Jets to do. Just because is Devontae at 31 the same Devontae at 27? He's not. He's just there's no way he is, because his body. Ooh, that looks like a face mask on cue. Yep. Fly cam. We got a face mask on cue. So you got about another 15 yards here. Let's see. All right. Happy tanking, Joe. Tanking. Yep, face mask. Great for Woody to bring back solid defenses. Deep. Yeah, okay. I would love to see you live stream away games. Yeah, I could say that during the season when it actually matters, I care more. But at this point, did we expect much different than 27-7 right now? Like we can't get mad, right? All good, buddy. I'm just pissed. Yeah. There's no need for beef, Rich and Eagle. No need for beef. Solid bending down, doing his froggy voice. If you guys get that reference, then I appreciate you. If not, then culture yourself, educate yourself, and bend down and do my froggy voice like this. So it looked like Salah was just doing. That was a good edge set by Ashton Davis right there. At the minimum, Keith Carter should be fired. Yeah, you got to pin it to somebody, man. The offensive injuries on the offensive line, or the injuries on the offensive line have been bad. If your kid will be a boy, yes. What Jets player? So, funny thing about my kid was I was actually considering naming him Jet. Like if my last name was not Blewett and it was Chada or Rich DeBow or fucking anything in here, Joe Doorknob, I would name my kid Jet. So it would be Jet Anderson, Jet, whatever. Probably Jet with 2 T's. But my name is Blewett. So you do not want my kid to be named, let's go, Jermaine Johnson, pick six for Jermaine.
Quarterback.
Realistically, we're still getting beat by 2 touchdowns. But hey, we don't have a lot to get excited about. So why not get excited? JJ block punt last week. He's been a stud, man. He has been. And the thing with him too is it's interesting to talk about like evaluations and stuff because the player he was at Florida State and the player he is now are different. The player he was at Florida State, I didn't value in top 10, but he's developed into, a great player. So block punt there, the pick six. I'm sorry, block punt last week, pick six now. Becton got, can't wait for Becton to be gone. Becton stinks. Becton get, yep. Ooh, slow-mo guy. I like that. Highway 77 is the fastest path to the quarterback. That is a good one, slow-mo guy. I appreciate you for that. I might use that again. Highway to the quarterback. Damn. Does Becton overset since he does not trust his knee? No, Neil. And there are people who will try to blame that shit on the knee. Again, go to my last video. I don't answer to a lot of stupid shit because I'm not going to get into an argument that's going to take 15, 20 minutes of my time, which in my opinion is a value, at least in my opinion, it's valuable. Like I spend my time on shit that matters. I'm not going to argue with some YouTube fuck who had, this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and not change his opinion. I just don't do it. But I had the 3-paragraph thing about Becton blaming his injury, but that was just piss poor technique. A lot of it's poor technique. Go to the Twitter play or the play I brought up on Twitter. I didn't bring it up on Twitter. Actually, JetX brought it up, but actually, fuck it. Let's bring it up. We'll bring it up during a commercial. You guys can watch it. I think I break down a play on this one. Twitter. Maybe I'll save it. Maybe I'll save it for halftime. Yeah, maybe I'll save it for halftime. Did I retweet it? Let's see. Profile. I'll show you guys my screen. I have nothing to hide. I probably do. Something went wrong? Here, we'll watch this. This isn't me talking now, but this is talking on the film show. So we'll watch this during the commercial break. Yikes. It's yikes. Becton's been bad, man. He's been really bad. So let me get back to not sharing my screen, which is a perfect time, by the way, to grab more beers, which I just did. So thank you, Mekhi Becton clip. Becton is so bad. Yeah. I like how someone was calling you out for calling out Becton, but if you look at that guy's feed, he was doing the same thing. Well, you're talking about the guy. You're talking about a guy, and this is why I don't respond. I really don't respond a lot on Twitter, but he was talking about, I think I criticized Becton, and he's basically like, well, Becton is an elite athlete, or he's an athlete, and he's working his ass off, and he's injured. So how can you do that? And I click on the guy's profile and go down a couple of his tweets, and it's like, this is the 85 Bears defense, LOL. I'm like, so I can't criticize Becton because he's in the NFL, but you can criticize a defense who's all in the NFL? What? Why can you criticize him, but I can't? So people are, it is what it is. Allison Tuckwab. Allison, I love you. But I do read your comments sometimes. I do not know what the hell they're saying. So we're going to read this, and I might throw out a couple of sound bites. We'll see. People said you throw up. I thought you like A-Rod, so does other people. That's when A-Rod was healthy. Even treat how that A-Rod, it's hurt when Jets act like is not there. It's everyone, the Jets staff.
What the hell is even that?
You're crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
Allison, I appreciate the super chat, but I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. Which happens quite a lot. But I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to answer. What are you trying to say? People said you throw up. I thought you like A-Rod, so does other people. That's when A-Rod was healthy. Even treat how A-Rod, it's hurt. Then Jets act like he's not there. It's everyone on the Jets staff. I don't know. I do like Rodgers. With that being said, the Jets haven't had the best quarterback situation the last couple of years, so anything looks good. But yeah, Rodgers is definitely good. And I liked him when he's healthy. I like him when he's not healthy. The Jets act like he's not there. It seems like the Jets do anything but act like he's not there. They seem to act like he's very much there, but I don't really know what the question is, but I appreciate the super chat. I don't know. I don't know if you're doing like voice to text or something, Allison, but I can't, especially when I'm drinking. I cannot comprehend that. I don't know. I grabbed another two, so we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Halftime? Is it halftime right now? We're on a good pace. Yeah. You said this before. If anything, Neil, he would underset, not overset. And I can't speak to it, but still. Becton is compensating because he must be protecting a knee. Yeah, you're not going to overset because you're protecting a knee. If anything, you'd underset again. So I don't think I have it in me to stick it out for the second half. Come on, Dan. There's 49 in here. I can't lose somebody. I'm kidding. You do whatever you want. I'll stick in here if there's one person in here. I'll probably watch the whole game. Why not? Now I'm having fun. Now I'm just drinking. Please tell me you called out Sauce for being weak on that first touchdown, Joe. Yes, happy. I watched it again. He was lacking there. He was for sure lacking. Which realistically, like, Sauce hasn't been lacking the last few weeks. If anything, hands to the okay. Well, looks like a hands to the face by Q. Yeah. And here we go. Terrible tackling. Touchdown, Jerome Ford. Missed tackle. Jerome Ford, tutty. 30 points, 30-plus points on this defense. That is elite. 34 points. Sauce is shaking his head. Quincy or Q shaking his head. Sauce is shaking his head. Salah. I don't know, guys. He's thinking about those stairs. He's thinking about those stairs in New England right now. That's what he's thinking about. I wonder how steep those fucking stairs are. Yeah, it's gross. The defense is overrated. It just is. I'm sorry. We're going to lose out. Or we're losing this game, at least. So, who was cut for Aaron Rodgers? Some scrub. Oh, yeah, by the way, too. Nobody mentioned that. Some scrub corner who nobody ever heard of, but Bawden was brought back to the practice squad and activated for this game, or at least brought up to 53 for this game. No, he was activated because I just saw him in play. So he's still in this game. So again, all those people who want to be fucking warriors against Aaron Rodgers, because we know why. If Rodgers got something injected into his arm, people would be a lot less forgiving to Rodgers. Let's be real. But he didn't get injected, so the mob attacks him. Can't tackle worth a shit. You're right. I am behind in the chat. Let's keep going. 14 minutes behind. I'm slacking. The effort's embarrassing. Yep. Okay. We can laugh the second half off. We're gonna just drink it off. We can drink it off. I'm off for 3 days. As long as you guys are here, I'm here. What a year for JJ. Yeah, and they score a touchdown right back, and it's already 34-14. Defensive touchdown didn't matter. JJ has got more catches for yards than TDs and Garrett. Yeah, let's not shit on Garrett. Let's not shit on Garrett. Hold on. So I got 14 points right now with Breece, and he has 3 with Garrett. So that's good. JJ better than Huff. Yeah, Chris. Realistically, like right now, and this is based on feeling, and again, this is based on feeling with Bruce and me, but JJ is a more well-rounded player than Huff, because JJ is a solid pass, or he's a decent pass rusher and a really good run defender, where Huff is a below average run defender, I would say, and a really good pass rusher. But right now, if you could tell me JJ or Huff for the long term, I might actually pick JJ, which is surprising. Which is surprising, but yeah. Let's see. 2022 draft class. Yeah, it's an elite class. I wonder how Kyle feels about JJ. Kyle was at the same thing. It's not about, I don't know, like even Andrew Thomas, that eval, did I miss? I would argue no. I didn't miss on Andrew Thomas, because Andrew Thomas came out and I said I didn't think he was pro. Like, I thought he was overrated in terms of pro readiness, which I'm not going to speak about. I saw somebody talk about how he was a really good pass protector and not a good run defender, which was the polar opposite, in my opinion. Polar opposite in college, in my opinion. It was more he was run game ready and not pass game ready, but nonetheless, he was a guy who I saw and I thought he would not be a good NFL player, at least initially. His first year or two, he wasn't good, and then he turned into be a good player. So did I evaluate him and say he can never be good, or did I evaluate him and say he's not good right now? I said he's not good right now. He could develop into a good player. So did I really miss on Andrew Thomas? I don't know. I would say no, based on what he did his first 1 or 2 years in the NFL, because that's the player I'm watching. I'm not watching who the player could be. Sometimes I am, but I'm initially watching the player for who they are. And I didn't think Andrew Thomas was as good of a prospect as some think he was initially. He got drafted first. He worked out after, the first 2 years, and here we are. But, I don't know. Jared says, haven't caught you in a long time, or live in a long time. What's up, Joe? Nothing much. Watching the Jets with their ass kicked. That's about it. But yeah, Jared, I haven't seen you in a minute, so I appreciate you being here. Jets blew it. Oh, wrong one.
You blew it!
I hit the wrong button. That's not a good idea. That's not a good sign. Back then, it looks like he's guessing because he knows he's too slow to mirror edge. Yeah, I don't know. Conklin on out, which, by the way, I said by the way a lot tonight. Conklin's been pretty good this year. Just throwing it out there. Conklin's been pretty good this year. 2nd and 4. Can the Jets score a touchdown here? I don't know. Simmons on the roll. Wow. Back shoulder ball to Conklin. Was he out of bounds too? Okay, time taken. Elijah Moore walking to the trainer's room to change his tampon. His tampon is bleeding through. Somebody's gonna be. You shouldn't joke about female hygiene products. Pistons up 4 with under 5 minutes left in Boston. Really, Alon. So the Nets weren't the one to end the streak. It's gonna be the speaking of kids, Ben Blessington looks like he could be related to me. Okay. I've met Ben's a good kid. Even though the last parking lot rep he had, he got locked up. He didn't say anything. The first time Ben and I went 1-on-1 in a pass or in a corner versus receiver rep, he had 35 seconds, literally 35 seconds to win a rep. He eventually won, caught a contested ball. Good on him. Again, 35 seconds. A real NFL game doesn't happen. Okay, fine. Next year, Pat's game. Again, consider the fact that I'm not going to say how many deep, but quite a few deep. I went to Tyson's tailgate. Tyson and I did, I don't know, 2 or 3 shotguns and 2 shots within 35 minutes. And then I went back after already drinking for the beginning of the tailgate. That was like 10 o'clock. So I'm already drinking for 2 hours, then in debt with Tyson, and then played Ben in a 1-on-1 rep. Okay, after 35 seconds get beat. This tailgate, this year, lock him up, all this stuff. Nothing. He doesn't talk anything about it. But the rep he won, after 35 seconds he talks about, but the reps he loses, does he talk about on Cool Your Jets? No, he doesn't. I see you, Ben. Don't talk about it on Cool Your Jets. It's okay. Because you lost. What? To a drunk guy in overalls. I was in overalls too. Just throwing out there. If both Linderbaum or JJ were on the board when the Jets made that pick, who would you have taken? Linderbaum. Transparently, Linderbaum would have been my pick. Okay. JD's only saving grace is by picking Sauce Garrett, JJ. No, I would say even well, those were great picks too, but they were more obvious picks. I would say more of a saving grace is more JFM, Huff, and Quincy. Like those are the moves that are out of the ordinary. MC2 is a saving grace. Field goal 34-17. Okay, they've only doubled their score, but yeah, if it was me, transparently at the time of the draft, would I have drafted JJ or Linderbaum? I probably would have drafted Linderbaum. All right, let's see. How can you not include Breece and Aaron Rodgers and Huff and Quincy Williams and Conklin you'll see next year? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Jet DeBrickashaw, Blewett. No, his name is going to be Lincoln. Lincoln is my son's name, who's coming out soon, which I'm uber excited for. I'm going to continue in the chat. I'm 10 minutes behind. I'm absolutely with Slow-Mo Guy. I'm also evidently a JD truther. I think his process has been good. Yeah, it's not like it's I would say his process has been pretty good until the last year or so, Rich. Like his process on the offensive line this year was balls. His process at quarterback his entire tenure has been balls. So what was the process this year? Rely on a injured 200 tackles, one being injured for 2 years and one being, 38 years old and injured the last year. That was his process. His process wasn't good in the offensive line this year. Now, I'm not going to be the guy who says, oh, Ryan Khalil, what a bad move. It's not like he signed, Ryan Khalil on March 16th, the opening hour of free agency, but he still signed. I'm not going to criticize that one because he signed him like late August or July or whatever it was. But with that being said, I don't think he did enough to the offensive line this year. And in a year Super Bowl or bust, type of year, playoffs or bust type of year, he didn't do shit to the offensive line. So this year really soured me on Joe Douglas. I would say before this offseason, he was probably more like a B plus GM, a B GM. Let's say B plus. Let's be more on the positive side. He dropped himself from a B plus to a C plus, in my opinion, this year. The offensive line, the receiver position this year, plus quarterback was legitimately a joke to me and how he handled it. So yeah, he dropped. Okay. Still going down. Yeah, Allison, I don't know. I'm pretty drunk, not that drunk. It's not, it's something that I never thought I would do, like stream while drinking, but here we are. People are too worried about being perfect anyway. Okay, let's see. Rivka, okay, but what about Sauce, Garrett, JJ, and Breece, McCard third? Yeah, it's. I don't think he's. I don't think he's trashing. There's definitely moves you can talk about with Sauce, Garrett, JJ, Breece. Sauce was more of an obvious pick, like right, Rich. You're one of my backers. Like I was talking about him forever. So he picked him pretty obviously, especially after Singleton was off the board. Garrett at 10. Okay, I'm not sure if London was the first receiver drafted. And by the way, people can shit on London all they want. If Arthur Smith actually used him correctly, he would be a 1,300 yard receiver, in my opinion. So London has worked out, which I was correct on. He took Garrett. Okay, fine. At 10, I would say that was probably more of like the wild card pick, like not so obvious. JJ, who was supposed to be like a top 10, 15 pick at 27 or whatever it was, a little bit more obvious, or not. I'd say more obvious, but good for him trading up. Breece was a good pick. Even though at that point I probably wanted Nakobe Dean, again, to be transparent. Michael Carter the second, not the third. And Michael Carter the third. Michael Carter the second, good pick. JFM, good pick. Quincy, good pick or good pickup. So he's had some moves, but there's been a lot of problems too. Receiver again, tackle, quarterback have been problems. I would say his free agency investments have been bad, Rich. And again, I can speak to you like this because I know you've been here for a while. You know what I said about Tomlinson when he was signed. You know what I said about Uzomah when he was signed. You know what I said about Whitehead when he was signed. So his track record and sort of in terms of player evaluation has not been good. It's not been good because I wouldn't have signed Tomlinson for they signed Tomlinson for or Whitehead or Uzomah or Barrios last year. I just wouldn't have. And he's made or Cook is obviously one of the bigger examples. Yeah, Allison, I
What the hell is even that?
I was saying that Jeff fans and the play, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I think I deal with a few people like you at my job. I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak. In absolutes here, but I don't know, Allison. I've seen quite a few comments. I never can make much sense of them. Rich, we have 0 tackles after 4 drafts, 1 wide receiver, and we bombed QB. That's on JD. The Becton pick, you have to assume he's going to be more injured at 370 pounds. I'm not going to kill him for that one, but Tomlinson, I'll kill him for. Uzomah, I'll kill him for. There's some things I'll kill him for. So I think he's a C+, B- GM, and people act like he's an A+ because we've seen a lot of Fs. Really, right? So still on offense, I would say Breece, Garrett, AVT, and Tippmann. Definitely don't agree with saying trash, bad coaching. My eyes yeah. I think I said C+, B-. I think that's fair. 14 minutes behind the chat. I'm gonna have to break the seal soon because we're a Hornitos and like 4 Millers deep, so we're gonna have to go to the bathroom soon. Where's the pass rush? Yeah, it's been lacking the last couple of weeks. The defense in general has been lacking the last few weeks. Yet all of the coaching jobs are already guaranteed. Yeah, I think Woody Johnson probably gets a overall bad rap from fans, but do I think that after a very disappointing year, not only from Rodgers getting injured, but from how your team has performed overall, do I think that sending out a vote of confidence in your team in week 16 is the best idea? No. So Woody is definitely very unconnected. You have that. You have the raising of ticket prices, which again, I am a season ticket holder, so I am paying them. It is legitimately brutal. But you have that. You have, after we lost a nail biter to the Chiefs, where we think we were legitimately fucked by the refs, for him to tweet out, we are Swifties too, 12 hours later is a joke. There are some things that Woody Johnson's bad with, but I feel like people act like he is, the Wilpons of the Mets, and that's never true. That's not true. If you've never seen bad owners, just look up the Wilpons. They are bad owners. Woody may invest his money into the wrong places, but I don't think he's the worst owner in the NFL. Some people just blame everything on him. I think he's partially to blame, and he's annoying, but I don't think he's meddling and trying to make the Jets decisions for them. And he has before, but I don't think he is now. I don't know. Rivka totally agreed, and Darashaw is better than AVT. Well, Darashaw's been on the field more, right? So Rivka, no GM is going to come in and nail most of their draft picks. I think you'll see next year with Rodgers and not the entire offensive line going down. Although I said bad, yeah, I don't know, Rich. You've heard a lot of my points about JD. I think he's okay, but great. I don't know. Whitehead with another missed tackle. Yep, but he'll still tweet Nania. He'll be tweeting Nania right after the game. Which, by the way, Nani gets way too much hate, dude. Like, I'm not even gonna say it, but whatever. It's someone who's like, whatever. People pick on Nania because they know he's a stats nerd and he's not necessarily going to stand up for himself. But people should probably watch out a little bit. There are some people who are still like picking on Nania this week. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, let's relax. Let's relax. But people like to act tough against people who they know can act tough against. But it is what it is. John Hassel, what's word up, Joe? Word up to you, John Hassel. Can't tackle, can't cover backs, tight ends, and they can't stop the run. It's been covered up by a Putredo. Yeah, the Jets defense has been a little bit disappointing to me this year. Yeah, I'm out. Good night, everyone. All right, Dan. Defense isn't overrated. Season's over. They basically shut it down. Yeah, and they're getting tired. Like I get the fatigue factor of all that stuff, but still. I would be out if not for the fact that I'm a Jets game day editor. Yeah, you, Brandon, all those guys kill it for us on a game day. Not talked about enough, but that Huff has been pretty quiet the second half of the season. Yeah, Jared, I think it's a pretty valid point. Past the first half of the season, this game, the Commanders game, the Texans game, and what was the game before that? You didn't really notice Bryce Huff as much as you did previously. So he's an interesting conversation. Like, do you want to pay him $20 million, $15 million, $16 million? Do I think he's really worth $20 million? I would say no. Like, I think he's more 15, 16, 17 because I think he's a very good pass rusher, but a bit like a not great run defender. So I think he might outprice himself with the Jets this year. But I also while saying that I would like to re-sign him because he's a stud pass rusher, I also don't want to overspend on a guy who's really had overall one-dimensional and who hasn't been showing up as much in recent weeks end of the year. So I don't know. Should tag and trade Huff. Yeah, I'm okay with trading Huff and keeping, JFM, JJ, Will McDonald, but I'd rather have Huff. Like if you can have Huff, then keep him. Because you don't have him next year. It's JJ, JFM, McDonald. Assuming you don't bring back Carl Lawson, is that the best edge rush group in the league? No, it's not. Does our defense drop considerably in like overall rankings? Probably, because again, JFM, JJ, McDonald, and then Q and question marks in the middle. It's a good defensive line, but it's not crazy. I don't know. Let's see. But you got Neil 100% right, Joe, at least at the moment. Yeah. Neil was always soft. Neil's always soft. I would say more often than not with the player evals before the draft, I've been right. Andrew Thomas has hit, but that was after 2 years. So I watched a year of him and I said he would not be good at least his first year or whatever in the NFL. He was good in like year 3. Okay. I'll take that as an L. Fine. I'm trying to think of who else was like obvious, like L's for me. I was very, very against Treylon Burks, who has not done shit. I don't know. There's been some L's. I can't think about a ton of L's. I'd say Andrew Thomas for like my biggest L. But with that being said, he wasn't good his first year. So I watched him be bad and then said he would be bad, at least at first, and he was bad at first. So did I miss or did he just develop? I don't know. So I'm actually going to jump off for a second so I could break the seal. So let me do that. All right, we're back. Have there been any plays for Ruckert, Brownlee, or Gibson? Come on, today? Well, Ruckert's out. And realistically, why would you scheme for Brownlee or Gibson? Right? Like, they're not going to ever be your primary threat. I'm assuming, Kev, right? You don't want Brownlee, Ruckert, or... Well, maybe Ruckert at times, but we don't want Brownlee as Gibson or as a top 3 or 4 option on the team right now. I think he's tried hard in the offensive line. Has had a lot of bad luck. I guess if we had the time, we could break down what would have been better. Yeah, the offensive line has been bad luck. Becton, bad luck. ABT, bad luck. But after last year, we have Becton, who didn't play in 2 years, and Brown, who was 38 years old and didn't play. You know, at least a healthy season last year. To rely on them and then throw in a 3rd-round rookie or 4th-round rookie in Carter Warren, was that enough at tackle? No. Especially in a year where you thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be your quarterback. Like that is a massive misstep, in my opinion, Rich. Massive. That plus, again, the quarterback situation in the last 3 years, plus tight end the first year, plus Lake and Tomlinson, plus Barrios, plus Tomlinson, plus there's a lot of stuff that he's done wrong. So I think that we're maybe overlooking that because we've seen the likes of McCagnon and Izek and Tannenbaum the last few years, but he's okay, but he's not great. He's definitely not been great. There's a lot of missteps. So you have to realize you're doubling down on mediocrity at this point. If let's say you're going to get rid of Douglas, let's say Aaron Rodgers doesn't work out, you're getting rid of not Douglas, but Saleh. Like if you're going to get rid of Saleh, get rid of Rodgers, all that stuff, he retires, are you going to double down on Douglas because he's a C+ GM? I'm not personally. I don't think he's worth doubling down on. I think he's okay. You extend him, great. Don't extend him, great. Whatever, fine. But doubling down on the guy who's a C+, B-, I don't think so. You can always pick up another situational pass for sure. Yeah, Chris, but I think that's also probably underrating what Huff actually is. I gotta keep up in the chat though. I'm gonna fly through these real quick. 2nd and 6 on a play clock. 5 handoff. Breece, go Breece, go Breece, go Breece. All right, we got like 10 yards. Conklin is so underused. Yeah, Conklin is he is a guy who I stan and I still stand. Conklin's a good fucking tight end. Outside of Uzama, yeah, I would say Conklin and Ruckert's a decent one too. I'm not gonna say it's Studley, but I don't know. I wish Mr. Bean was. They're buying you to understand my message so he can. Yeah, Allison, I don't. This has to be your second language or something. I can't. I appreciate the chats and stuff, but I just don't know what you're saying. It's not English. It's not English. I don't know, Allison. You got to work on it. I just can't. I can't do the lack of English chats. Playing conservative down 20. Yeah, but Nani at quarterback is super mobile and his online considered a bunch of Hall of Famers. Yeah, people. There's some times, and I saw some like people shit on Nani like this week. Like somebody said, like I think like NYJ Matt like said to Nani, like, do you think that he fumbled on purpose? And Nani was like, in terms of the Jamison Crowder, like you guys remember the punt return where he kind of fumbled the ball up, and Nani was like, I think there's some rich or some sketchy business going on here, whatever he said, about Jamison Crowder, and he's purposely throwing the game for the Jets. And then there's people on Twitter who are like calling out Nani, like, oh, he's definitely serious about this. Like, okay, let's fucking relax, let's relax on Nani. I know he's a nerd, but let's not keep picking on him. That's what people do. Like high school bullies, they pick on people who they know that are weaker than them. So I'm not gonna stand for Nania. There's some reasons to pick on Nania. I get it. I definitely get it. But on stupid shit, let's not do that. 3rd and inches. Timeout. Jets. Okay. Joe, you're always higher on JD than I was. I was. JD was a B- for me before the year and is now a C-. Okay, so I said right now he's a B- C+. So we're like half a grade difference. And maybe some of the fact that I've seen some really, really bad GMs while also thinking that GMs overall are overrated. Like Ozzie Newsome has missed out on plenty of players. I think he's okay. He's okay. Let's see. Super chat from Allison. It seems A-Rod wasn't hurt. Everyone was all happy after OBJ, but after A-Rod got hurt, it's all Changies. It seems after A-Rod wasn't hurt, everyone was all happy. Yeah. Breece. It seems A-Rod wasn't hurt. Everyone was all happy after OBJ, but after A-Rod got hurt, all
What the hell is even that?
Allison. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just don't know what you're saying. I don't. Okay. I'll keep going up. No, I'm still a couple minutes behind. Okay. 1st and 10. Give me another Breece Hall touchdown, please. Play action. Simeon rolling out. Garrett catch. All right. 0.5. Get me a half a yard. All right. We got 0.6 there. We'll take it. Who in the right moment time Bakai back then? People who are betting on upside. All things considered, Joe, you're not losing your shit so far. I'm more numb. I'm more numb to it than you think at this point, Daniel. Or Daniel, fuck Murphy. I'm just calling you Murphy. I'm numb to it at this point, so I don't really care too much. But that and like I'm trying to like really reserve myself just because I've had quite a few beers at this point, or like beverages. So I'm not trying to be a complete asshole because it's very abnormal to be sitting like realistically, right? For any one of you, it's very abnormal to be sitting in front of your camera or in front of your computer talking to, however many 100 or 1,000 people are going to watch this after. It's kind of weird. Jason Brownlee, big catch over the middle. All right, score a tutty. Let's go, Simeon. Breece. Give me a Breece tutty. Give me a Breece. JD only had one good draft. Whist on Tristan Wirfs as an all-pro. Trade up for ABT and missed on Darasol. I think it's a little bit of revisionist history, Stanley man. But Kev says, "How about we end the season with one more live stream during the game?" It's a success. It's a success. Come on, Breece. Fuck, he got stuffed. Is it a success? I don't know. Here, it doesn't feel like it. Joe, how do you think the Jets offense would have looked last year? How do you think the Jets offense would have looked with last year's receiver room and Zach from this year? Does Corey Davis make that much of a difference? No, but do I think they look better? Yeah. I think Corey Davis was underrated by a lot of fans. I really do. He would easily be the number 2 on the team right now, which isn't saying a ton, but he's easily better than Lazard. And I remember, the Jets signing Lazard, and he's so much better than Davis, and he's such a better possession guy, and he's such a better blocker and all this stuff, better hands, whatever it may be. I was right from the jump, like, this guy fucking blows Lazard. So it would have been better. But how much better? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Did you see Joe prior to the Dallas game? That podcast, you lost the shit. Did Murphy lose the shit or did I lose the shit? Yeah. 3rd and goal. Hold on. 6, 5, 4, 3. Snap to slant to Garrett Wilson, and he dropped it. Like I said, I love Garrett Wilson. There's a difference between being great or good and great, and Garrett Wilson is good at this point to me. We'll see what happens in the actual replay, but he drops more balls than he should in terms of like trying to be the elite guy. Yeah, you catch that ball. He looked to run before he secured a catch. At least that's what it looked like. But yeah, good and great. There's a difference, but yeah, Dallas was pretty down, man. After being a fan for as long as I've been a fan, which is I'm only 30, but for a diehard for 15 years, let's say, going to all the games, I've been a season ticket holder since 2012, and then thinking all of the bullshit we've dealt the last 10, 15 years has been worth it. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's the year we're going to really prove people wrong for it to go the way it did after 4 snaps and then going to Dallas and being in Dallas. Yeah, it's pretty fucking dark. That's for sure. Pistons and Celtics tie with 108 and with 5 left. Oh shit. I didn't even see that. Okay. I'm gonna keep scrolling down. OT in Boston. God damn. I'm still far behind. Pistons tied in OT. Yeah. Okay. Zerline. Blocked field goal.
Quarterback.
34-17. Who picks on Nania? Yeah, it's okay. I'm not gonna say who, but there are people. All right, I think I'm out. You're the man, Joe. Hopefully next year goes a lot better. See you guys soon, and agree on Nania being the man. Yeah, I'm saying the man, but people pick on him a little bit too much. Good rinse to Whitehead. Clark will be a big improvement. Even Ashton Davis is better than Whitehead. I would agree with you at this point. I'd much rather see one, obviously Clark over Whitehead. But if you tell me in a vacuum, Ashton Davis next year for $2-3 million versus Whitehead for $6, $7, $8 million, yeah, give me Ashton Davis. Jared says JD has been a C+ to a B- GM so far, which is the best we've had since Tannenbaum. Sadly, is the reason why I'm a supporter of his to stay at least another year. Yeah, I'm with you, Jared. C+ to B-. It's not great, but it's better than we've had. It's just like, has he done enough to earn a extension? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's definitely worse out there than JD, but I think there's also better than JD. So, why should Huff kill himself? He knows that Jets won't pay him because realistically, you're talking about film for 31 of the teams, right? Like if you're talking, he's not giving effort because the Jets won't pay him. There's 31 of the teams who are watching that film like, oh, he gave lack of effort there, right? So 375 yards of offense at a half. That's wild. Keep Huff from Art. Maybe Elijah Moore is more of a pad guy than a tampon guy. That's good. That's good. What would cutting JFM net us? Let's see. John Franklin. Can't spell right now. Myers contract. Even though, okay, let's see. Contract OTC. Yep, there we go. There's probably some like June 1st cut bullshit, whatever it is, but it says right now if we cut him, we save. So he's owed $16 million next year, and we save 7, and we dead money's 9. So realistically, is it some type of extension or rework? Probably, because are you going to find a better player than JJ for $7 million? Probably not. Are you going to find a better player than JJ in 2025, like for $10 million? Probably not. So I think JJ is probably pretty safe at this point, unless there is some like June 1st cut bullshit that I don't know about. So I don't know. Andrew Thomas is also having a poor season. Oh, is he? Yeah, I don't know. Not that I'm rooting for that specifically, but yeah, my initial evaluation of Thomas was that he was overrated. Wish I had a live stream of Joe Douglas watching the game. Would be fun to see him embarrassed again. He's so arrogant. He probably think, yeah. No, there's some veteran arrogance. So, Big L Mims. Mims is kind of tough because the player. So the thing I will say for Mims is the player he was on the field, he was a 2nd round pick. The player who he seemed to be mentally was a 7th round pick. I can't get into the 7th round pick interview type stuff, but he was clearly very soft mentally. The fact they brought in Keelan Cole messed up Mims' development because they brought in receiver 3 or 4. So his mindset was fucked up, or he ate bad salmon and threw up for a day or 2. So that meant his whole season was bad. There are people who will excuse anything. People will excuse anything for Mims. That looked like it was stripped by Jordan Whitehead there. So, any insight on this year's crop of offensive line? It is weak. It is weak, Mike. Past that, the draft is strong. He might have been down. I'm not watching this fully right now. That was a bang play. Looked like so it's probably going to go tied to the runner, whatever they call on the field. They call it a fumble, right? Oh, that was bang. Art says, Joe, your boy McDuffie has been good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like massive misses I've had for like players. Is Nakobe Dean not doing a lot with the Eagles? I really like Nakobe Dean. So maybe they should swing on an edge rusher in the draft and later rounds. One thing this coaching staff can develop is yeah, I would say I don't think you risk elsewhere, positions they need, receiver, safety, whatever it may be. I think they're pretty stacked at edge rusher right now because even next year, if Huff leaves, like you're still 8 or 9 spots deep on the D line. So do you really need another guy to develop? Probably not. But I whatever's available in the 5th, 6th round, whatever. I don't really care. All pro. Probably a jump there, Stanley. I know some Roddy Dangerfield jokes if everyone gets bored waiting. We're for halftime. I think we're caught up now. Hold on, let me keep scrolling down. Please do not read Allison's post. I will want you super chats, but Allison, I just don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Clean your own backyard out before you try and clean mine off. Don't listen to that guy. I am kind of slow typing and it misspells. My backyard's clean. I don't know. Because you mind your own business, tell Zach that you make more money than he does. Flowers. That's beer talk? Maybe. Not having a legit backup quarterback for Aaron Rodgers was fireable. Yeah, it's after and specifically after you have Salah come out and say we want it to be a redshirt year for Zach. If you want it to be a redshirt year for Zach, he's behind a 39-year-old quarterback, behind a bad offensive line, and you don't sign another backup? Okay.
What the hell is even that?
Jared says offseason plan, left tackle first round, trade for Adams for 2023 third. Ball carriers down. Okay, so 2023 third and 2024 second round. I think it's a lot for Adams, to be honest, Jared. Right tackle and Jacoby Brissett in free agency. Bring back Chuck Clark and the rest is defense. Super Bowl contender after that. So who is the right tackle? Jacoby Brissett's probably going to cost you $8, $9, $10 million in free agency because he's been very solid when in. So I don't know. I don't know about signing Jacoby because of how much he's going to cost. 6.7. Okay. Miller Lite is a breakfast beer, Joe. Poached eggs, toast. Oh, Jared. Or not Jared. John, don't act like I don't know. It is a very, very light beer. It's water beer. But with that being said, it was free and it was already in my fridge. So I did not feel like, would I rather drink a free Miller or a $3 Palmer? I'd rather drink a free Miller. So that's what we're having. I wish Green Bean was there. Celtic. He's a good helper explaining things with words and trying to see not only me but other people too. Yeah, power to Green Bean. I like Green Bean. I've been on a show a couple times. Good dude. Blewett opened up the stream for Dallas week with a simple but effective fuck. Yeah, I think I did. It's brutal, man. Like I was streaming from Dallas. It's hard. It's a hard life as a Jets fan. But going on a stream after Rodgers got injured and you're in Dallas, yeah, it's not great. Jets blew it. Oh, wrong one.
You blew it!
1st and 10 for the Jets. We got a little motion, play action, roll out to the right, check down to Gibson for 4 yards, 5 yards. Power. All right. Keep Tank alive. Update on baby names. My son's name, who is coming, is Lincoln. If I have a daughter, she's gonna be Savannah. If I have another son, I don't know. But yeah, it's Lincoln. Lincoln is my baby's name. So I'm just saying, Nani provides a lot more information discussion than some of these Jets or other journalists, content aggregators who can talk out their ass. The thing about Nani is, like, he puts out a lot of content and he has a lot of followers, so he's getting a lot of haters. But a lot of people pick on Nani because he's a nerd. You know, I'm risking saying too much. I don't want to. I'm trying to be very cautious right now. But there's people who think they're tough who maybe aren't. You know, I don't know. Bullies. You got a lot of bullies out there. Bullies are usually, you know, for lack of a better term, pussies. They are. Bullies, you punch them in the mouth, they usually stop. But a lot of people can't get checked nowadays, so they like to fucking talk. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna get too mad about it. But there were some times, like, and I was never that guy in high school. Like, I played football, that shit. I was never that guy to like pick on the nerds. I always stood up for them because I think people who do that are fucking weak. I really do. So, and there are some weak people on Twitter who are jumping on Anya because of the Cook thing. But which, by the way, he was right. So enjoy. But I'll back Nani. Nani's a good dude. Keep on. What if you have twins? If I had twins right now, Kev, the doctors are gonna get fucking sued because if they can't recognize that I have twins at this point, you know, 9 months deep, then they should really not have a job. So if I do, then fine. But the only thing I'm really nervous for is having a girl. Realistically, if I could skip. I would love a girl, love a girl. They're better when they're younger, in my opinion. They love you, they cuddle you, all that stuff. They're great when they're older. They take care of you. But I am greatly concerned of the years 25 or 12 to about 25. If I could skip those years, I would have a girl all day. But I am greatly concerned of teenage years and college years of girls because you guys know what you were thinking about girls when you were 12 through 25. I know what I was thinking about girls when I was 12 through 25. I'm not comfortable with guys thinking about that about my daughter. So I can't do it. I can't do it. I hope I have 3 boys. We're having 2 or 3. I hope it's 2 or 3 boys because the girls is fuck, man. Salute to all the girl dads out there because it's a scary life. Nani has the best take on the Jets' current situation. Yeah, the second best Jets take. I agree. Carter as a backup tackle might sneak into a starting spot in 2025. I'd rather trade up for DeJuan Jones. They could have took DeJuan Jones multiple times though, right? Like they didn't. It's not something that they necessarily even need to like trade up for. DeJuan Jones. They skipped on him for a few guys this year, right? If I'm not mistaken. Kev with white guy with beard racism right here. Baldwin looks like Mini Conklin because he's a white guy with a beard. So I don't appreciate it, Kev. There, I'm offended. Boy first to protect his sister. Yeah. If honestly, if I could choose, so let's say if I was to have a boy and a girl, it was guaranteed. I'd rather actually have the girl first because. Again, fucked up mind. I've a pretty fucked up mind. Having a girl, let's say 2 or 3 years age difference, which it most likely will be. I'll probably say 2 years. So you have a boy who's 16 and a girl who's 14. What is that 14-year-old girl thinking about the 16-year-old boy's friends? There's not a lot of times where a 16-year-old girl likes 14-year-old boys, but a 14-year-old girl loves 16-year-old boys. So I'm not super comfortable with a girl after a boy. I'd rather have a girl than a boy and then another boy. But hey, we'll see what happens. Smoke screen to Brownlee, who falls on his face after not getting touched. Here it is. People don't like Nani because he's right so often. It's that, and he's like a nerd, so it's easy, to pick on him. But as it is, Ian says, love Nani and his content. He has been a bit butthurt lately, though, going through the tough years. I mean, yeah, it's Nania is also like 23, 22 years old. So there's some times where he gets like caught by being a younger fan, and he gets caught with like some of the times of being too negative on Twitter and like, oh, the Jets won this game for absolutely nothing. Like, what the fuck did they do this for, or whatever, and people get pissed off by it. But people jumping on sarcastic tweets about Nania and saying he's actually like telling or being serious here is kind of weak. Are you streaming tomorrow? No, I am waking up and I am cleaning up my closet, and then I'm hanging up baby shelves and putting baby toys in the shed tomorrow. So, or not in the shed, in the garage. So that's what I'm doing. DeJuan Jones early round 4, Warren maybe 15 picks after. Yeah. So I would rather take Carter Warren 3rd and 11 for the Jets. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 snap, drop back, throw, sack, or not a sack maybe, but stuff, whatever we're gonna call it. Yeah, but I've had a DeJuan Jones over Carter Warren. Yeah, I would have. Triplets. What are you having? What about you having triplets? Yeah, not triplets either. Again, if we're having triplets, then the doctors are even more wrong than they already are. Which isn't like a conspiracy theorist type of thing, by the way. I'm not saying like doctors are always wrong, but initially the first lady at the ultrasound was like, you guys are having a girl. It's 85%. You know, if there's like a fork something, and if the fork is down, it's a girl. If the fork is out, it's a boy, and your fork looks like it's down. So 85-90% sure it's a girl. A week later, oh, it's a boy. Oh, okay, sweet. But we'll do it twice. Who are the free agent linemen you like? I think we need 3 starter and depth guys. Well, depth guys, it kind of depends. Like, can they bring Connor McGovern back for another $1.5 million? Because if you can get Connor McGovern back as $1.5 million to be a backup center guard, I think that's one of the better backups in the league you're going to get. So do you bring him back? Do you bring Schweitzer back, he's already under contract, so he's most likely going to be back. So I think they're pretty fine there if they bring back McGovern. And then past that, like, do they need 3 starters? It depends if they cut Tomlinson. If they cut Tomlinson, then you sound like Zeitler, okay. But realistically, can you replace 3 starters in a year? It's kind of hard. So I'm leaning more towards the Jets keep Tomlinson, unfortunately, and then you have to replace 2 tackles, whether that be signing Zeitler and moving AVT to tackle, or signing, let's say, Jordan Williams and then drafting a tackle. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but I think more than likely you're replacing 2 out of 5 instead of 3 out of 5, just because 3 to 5 sounds great. But in the world of, I'm not saying that bringing 3 is out of the world of reality, but more so in the realm of reality, you're probably replacing 2, not 3. So it's probably the 2 tackles or tackle guard, and AVT moves at the tackle, which in my opinion is a massive mistake, because regardless of what the numbers say, I watched ABT at guard. I watched ABT at tackle. He's a different player at tackle than guard. He's an all-pro level tackle or a guard, in my opinion. He is a serviceable to solid right tackle or tackle in general, but he's not the same player. Again, regardless of stats, none of the stats before the season were they're pretty much like on par, right tackle versus right guard, but it's not the same on film. I really couldn't care less what the numbers say. He's a better player at guard. So I'm hoping they keep him at guard, and then you bring in 2 new tackles, but we'll see. 3 just seems like a lot to replace in one offseason. DeJuan was taking 1 spot before 112, which we traded back to the Pats after the pick. Warren he could be like a decent swing tackle. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Trade up for DeJuan. Shouldn't have broke the seal. Any players outside of JFM on defense who are trade candidates? Feels like we might need to try to sacrifice defensive talent for offensive tackle. I don't think trade candidates, Jared, but could you tag in? Well, are you talking about like could you tag and trade Huff? The only problem is I think the tag might be a little bit over his market value. Like if you're going to tag him for what, like $19 million, how much are you going to trade for a player who you think is at or even maybe a little bit more so than his market value. Like, okay, if you think he should really be paid 16 and he's paid 19 on a tag, so you're already overpaying him by $3 million. How much are you really willing to trade for him? I don't know. In my opinion, Cut Tomlinson re-signed Becton to play right tackle. But right now, Kev, if I told you, okay, minus everything, Becton is your starting right tackle for next year, are you happy? I'm not. Mikey says, do you think Bakhtiari is a viable option? No. Bakhtiari has played it was one game in 2021, like 10 or 11 games in 2022, and like one game so far this year. So you have a guy who's played 14 games or so in 3 years. Why do we want this guy? Why? I don't understand the Bakhtiari stuff. See, 1st and 10 from the Browns. I don't know, about 10-yard line. Sauce near pick, couldn't finish it. Looks like his knee got a little bit extended. He looks like he's limping a little bit, which is not great. Joe Flacco has thrown up a good 2 or 3 picks for the Jets this game, and they have not capitalized. That was another pickable ball. Mosley just straight falls on his face. He just falls. What a good effort, Mosley. Yeah, Sauce got to catch that, man. He's in his hands. Sauce drop pick, MC2 drop pick. Snap, throw, DJ Reed, pass deflection. Let's go. All right. After 3rd down, I'm taking a piss again because I broke the seal. It's sacrilege right now. Please no, Bakhti often injured. That's great. I prefer a veteran left tackle instead of a rookie, but who, Mikey? Who? That's the question. Cut Tomlinson, Becton, and McGovern. You don't have to cut Becton because he's not on a contract. You don't have to cut McGovern because he's not on a contract. I bring back Fant and look back. Why Bakhtiari? Like the thing about McGovern is he signed for $1.5 million. $1.5 million from McGovern is a bargain contract in my opinion. So why are we trying to get rid of him? There's a flag in the secondary, by the way, that looked like it was by nobody. So I don't know what that flag's going to be. Holding Tony Adams. Tony Adams has been a little bit disappointing to this point. Hold on. I'm going again. We're going again. We're back. Piss and a beer. I said, do not throw that flag. He was falling down already. Let's see. Move AVT back to left guard. Honestly, left guard, right guard, it doesn't really matter. But guard, I feel like is his all-pro position, and I think at tackle, I feel like before the year I said he was like a all-pro guard, but a pro ball tackle. And it's kind of how I quantified it. But after this year, I think he's a solid but not pro ball tackle and an all-pro ball right guard. I don't know. 3rd and 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play action, roll out to the right. Q falls down before he gets a sack. And a ball that was to Hill that looked like it was dropped or maybe deflected, but Q literally fell down right there. Not ideal. But yeah, AVT is a completely different player at guard than tackle. And I know the numbers kind of say that maybe it's not so different, but it is. It is. Maybe don't sign Huff. Guy has not shown up to play in 7 weeks. PI on Sauce? What PI? Throwing the one where you almost got the pick? It's not a PI. It's not a PI. It's not a PI. You could both fight for the ball. He has the right to fight for the ball. Because if you touch a guy 5 yards after the line of scrimmage, doesn't mean it's a PI. You have the right to fight for the ball. Okay, Gibson, good return. Can we make this a respectable game? Score touchdown, 34 to 24. Okay, let's get back in the game. Maybe make it like a 1-score game. Let's go here. Good ish on Reed. Good play by Reed. All right, I'm a couple minutes behind. Good tank move by Reed. Having problems tonight. Not Reed. No, it was Tony Adams, right? Is Clark Adams and Davis good enough safety for your no, like let's see, hold on. 1st and 10, less by the third quarter, end around to Gibson, who gets a solid 8 yards. Is it good enough? No. Do I feel like it's like a multifaceted question. It's not a multifaceted question. Maybe I'm drunk, but do I think it's good enough? Yeah, maybe. But do I think it's good enough for like a Super Bowl or bust year? No. Do I want more than Clark, Adams, and Davis? Yeah. If that's the answer, and at the same time they splurge at tackle and receiver, then I won't be mad. If they don't splurge at tackle and receiver, and they only have Clark, Adams, and Davis, and they're sitting on $10 extra million when they could have signed Budda Baker, then I'll be pissed. It's all kind of relative to what they do the rest of the free agency. But right now in a vacuum, is Clark, Adams, and Davis good enough? I would say no. But who is that fourth guy? Is that fourth guy some random guy from the Niners who Saleh has a connection with? I always forget the guy who was with the Niners last year. I'm not sure who he signed with. It was a safety who was available in free agency this year. Like, do you sign that guy? I don't know, maybe. But overall, right now in a vacuum, Clark, Adams, Davis is it good enough right now? I'd probably say no. Like I would assume there was some type of veteran in that group. Who's on the Jets? Holding Reed, back in the buyer market, re-sign McGovern, pay cut Lakin, cheap contract back in for a swing, first round left tackle retitled. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Jared, what about JVC? Hasn't showed anything. Has he even taken reps? I guess maybe. Do you know what the availability of left tackle in free agency? Let's see. Free left tackle specifically. Let's see. Free agent tackles NFL 2024. All right. Google. We're on the good old spot tracker, right tackle, left tackle, and update. We have Tyron Smith, Dwayne Brown, Cornelius Lucas, and Donovan Smith. Not the most overwhelming group of free agents. Tyron Smith is old and often injured. You have Dwayne Brown, who maybe JD will just trust him for another year. Cornelius Lucas, who I've never heard of my entire life, and Donovan Smith, who is on Kansas City. I'm not sure how well he's playing this year, but I know last year with Tampa, he was not the best for the last year or two. So maybe he had a bounce back year. Maybe that's like the type of option you bring in a Donovan Smith and an Owenu and you let them compete. I don't know, but not the most star-studded group of left tackles. So Joe taking a piss has a whole new meaning. A live stream. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no way to hold piss in for 3 hours, especially after drinking. I don't however many Millers. T. Higgins if he isn't tagged, yeah, but most likely is tagged. What happened to Zari Barnes? He's in witness protection. He's a 5th-round rookie behind 2 or 3 really good linebackers. Well, 2 good linebackers, Sherwood, who is relatively proven for like a backup role player. So he's like our 4th or 5th linebacker. So how much of an impact is he really going to make? Probably not a lot. 1st and 10. Let's see what the Jets do. from the 43. Garrett Wilson, catch for 9 yards, which gives that guy 1.4 points. Let's see where we're at in fantasy football, fellas. Let's see. Breece Hall, 20.5 points. Garrett Wilson, 6.3. Let's go. Let's go. It's a good start. How brutal has Becton been? Brutal. He's in pretty ass, Josh. And with that being said, like Becton, even his rookie year was overrated by fans. And I'm not saying that now because he's struggling in his 4th year. But go back and watch the live streams from his first year. He let up 6 or 7 sacks. He got his ass beat by some scrub from the Bills. He got his ass beat by some scrub Cleveland Farrell from the Raiders. So it's not like his rookie year was all great. And I know Baldinger, whatever the fuck his name is, Brian Baldinger, try to make it seem like that, but he's kind of a schlub. So he'll put up highlight plays. Oh look, Becton, another flag. False start. Highway 77. Run behind Becton. Yeah, he's booty. He's booty. Which, by the way, that false start was called on Becton, but there's been like 3 or 4 more worse ones on the Browns that I've already watched. But it is what it is. Let's see. Let's see what Big Ticket does now. A screen to Breece that did not work at all because whoever the DN was read it all the way. All right. Gibson is a 4 on a good team. Alon, I would argue that he's not a good 4. No, now can I think of plenty of good 4s in the NFL? Not necessarily, but do I value Gibson as a 4 even on the Jets? No. Like if you told me next year Gibson's a 4, I'm gonna say the Jets didn't do enough because realistically on the Jets next year, Gibson should be a 5 or a 6. Gibson's not a good 4. Like, hold on, let's see. 3rd and 6, almost near pick. Garrett Wilson looks like he wanted a flag there. This looks like he probably should have got. Let's see the replay. But I was happy with Hardman as a 4. Yeah, that's wild on Newsome. That's not a flag there. But hey, we have a receiver who's checked mid slant. Doesn't matter. It's the Jets. If that was the Chiefs, it's a fucking flag. 4th and 6, solid going for it. Okay, no shit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Snap. That was easily 2 seconds over the fucking delay of game. This team is a joke, man. Again, this is a professionally run NFL team. And Rodgers shaking his head. Yep. Kicked a fucking field goal. Yeah, Avon. I don't know. I think Gibson's a 5 on a good team, realistically. I like if I was okay with Harbin as a 4 this year going in. If you told me after this year if Gibson was a 4, I'm not thrilled with it. So I kind of disagree there. Can we get Garrett at least 20 more yards? No, because I'm playing with fantasy. What does an ideal starting O-line look like for you next year? Fuck, Jared, that's a really good question. Let's say the Jets don't get Alt and they get Fasciano. So you have Fasciano at right tackle, left tackle. You have AVT at right guard. You have Tippmann at center. Now, am I trying to be realistic? If I'm trying to be realistic, then I probably say Tomlinson at left guard. If I'm not being realistic, I'm trying to live more in fantasy land. I'm going to say Kevin Zeitler at left guard. And then left tackle, I think it's going to be more of like a mid-tier free agent, probably like a George Fant or whoever it may be. So it's probably what it is. I don't think the Jets are going to go from a true like weakness this year to a true strength this year. I think next year we're going to have to be happy with like average, which I think kind of the group I laid out is more average. But I I think more than likely it's Tomlinson's back with Tippmann. So it's Tomlinson, Tippmann, ABT in the interior, like we said, or kind of like expected. You have Latham or Fasciano at right tackle, and then left tackle is, I don't know, Fant and Owenu. I don't know. Becton's been so bad. If he wore Reddit and yelled Kool-Aid, all the kids in the neighborhood would come running, and he couldn't block one of them. I don't know. Some team will overpay for Jordan Williams. Yeah, there's going to be a team who overpays for him. I hope it's on the Jets, realistically. Garrett get a sack yet? I don't think so. Let's see. The only player asset to trade tackle receiver for is Huff. Oh. Funny story, Blake Cashman might be an all-pro. Yeah, I know, right? Josh, like Blake Cashman for the Jets consistently gets injured, goes to the Texans, has like a good year. You have Greg Dortch, who wasn't shit for his first 2 or 3 or 4 years, and now like years 5, 6, 7 for the Cardinals, actually a decent player. It's pretty wild. Yeah, Becton. I would think Becton could be converted more to to a guard more so than a Max Mitchell could. So. All right. Keep going. I am 3 minutes behind. Yeah, Neil, I agree with you. Is that not a pick or interfering on Garrett on running the route? Yeah, it's that should have been interference on Garrett. Not sure if it was 5 yards, but he kind of chucked him. So why punt at 34-17? I don't know where they were at though. Like the down and distance, and the Jets get gashed in the running game again. Becton at left guard and emergency backup right tackle. I don't know. Okay, let's just hope that we can replace everybody with good players instead of having to mismatch tackles at this point. I don't want to do that. This team is a train wreck. So many issues from top to the bottom. We are so bad in so many different levels. Worst organization in the NFL. Yeah, GB 515. I can't disagree that the team who has the longest playoff drought in all of the 4 major sports in America. I'm not going to argue that they're a good franchise, right? Like I'd be quite the dumbass to do that. So yes, it's been a mess. From Isaac to McCagnon to whoever. The whistle's blown and JJ has the ball. I didn't see exactly what happened, but we'll see. How about Mollett from the Ravens? I think they converted him to safety. Talking about Arthur Mollett? Sure, bring him as a safety 4. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't kept up on Arthur Mollett. Bro, that's a fumble clear as day. Clear recovery. That better be the Jets ball, man. Give me something. Give me fucking something. Give me on the score by Breece. No shit. Beloved piece. Clear fumble. It's ours. Come on. So we have a JJ with a. Did he force that fumble too? Block punt. We have a pick 6 from JJ. We have a forced fumble by JJ. Don't give me that fucking forward progress BS. All right, Yoshi, I like it. I like the energy. Kev says, can you imagine Salah outcoach any other team in a playoff game? Never. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. 1st and 10. Yeah, let's get Breece a tutty here. Jets 1st and 10 from the 35. 3-by-1 gun. Garrett tipped over the middle. Sal will be unemployed in 13 months. Yeah. If I don't know, man. I'm assuming Alon, you're anticipating that Rodgers only plays 1 year. If Rodgers plays 2 years, they're most likely both back. They're most likely both back. Gibson then tacked up a hole. It was tipped, so it's a little bit harder said than done. But again, transparently, I'm not watching. Gibson, the first thing, looking for a flag. How would you catch the ball instead of looking for a flag? Let's see the replay there. I'm not a big Gibson guy. Not a big Gibson guy. Stems outside, break inside. Ball goes right through his hands. That's on Gibson. Ball right through his hands, wide hands. I'm going to have tight hands. 3rd and 4 from the 29. 2-score game. It's a game again, at least. Conklin. Short. Go for it. Go for it. You go for it right now, right? 4th and inches. 11 minutes left. You don't kick a field goal. You go for it. Score a tutty. Score a tutty. Salo always have a defensive coordinator position available. Yeah, for sure. Stuffed on a sneak. Not even close. Not even close. In 4 drafts, this team has no complement of receivers. That's clearly on JD. Mims didn't work. Yeah. Good try, Jets. Conklin, yeah. No, Gibson's a JD version, our JV version of Barris, which is pretty ass, yeah. Ian, you're not wrong. Tomlinson was very, very late there. Garrett looks thrilled. Salah, nothing. And I'm not the biggest guy in terms of hey, let's rah on the sideline, all that bullshit. But should you be talking to your players in the minimum? Yeah. Looking lifeless on the sideline all the time is not necessarily the best idea. 28 plays, 119 yards. The Browns, 11 plays, 35 yards. Problem is we can't fucking score. So solid no motion reminds me of the Bulls days, yeah. Let's go! Let's go!
Quarterback!
Let's go. Doesn't matter. It's fucking. We're still down by 2 scores, even if we score a touchdown. After review, we actually realized there might be too many guys in the field. Like, can you review a 12-man on the field penalty? Apparently, you can. I think the NFL makes its own rules anyway. So, order break, Jets catch a break. Yeah, pound on the Browns. Just how I drew it up. I love it. Let's see. Give me a Breece tutty, please. You've always been able to review a 12-man penalty. Really? I'm just stupid. I'm just stupid, then I guess. I can't remember the last time Gibson made someone miss. Yeah, it's Gibson isn't great. I'm not gonna front here. Gibson is largely overrated because of one play, week 1. Past that, he hasn't done shit. You need a Herman Edwards. We need to play the game. Yeah. But to replace what though, Carfox? Because this one stays. This one stays.
Even that? You blew it!
That definitely stays.
Quarterback!
That stays. So replace either Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, or You're Crazy from Anchorman. I don't know. Who's down? Hansen, Jake Hansen. Not the biggest blow in the world. What did the Jets have ruined Puka Nacua? Yes. Oh, it's Newman. Who cares? Rivka, you're so insensitive. He's a family. Everybody loves him. So insensitive. Pitchforks for Rivka. Second and 12. Is that a false start on the offense? False start.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You blew it!
Never see solid coaching or chatting up the players on the field. He seems to be solid. Yeah. Again, I'm not the biggest like rah, you have to do all this shit type of guy, but should you be at least talking to your team on the sideline? Yeah, I would say so. Second and 17. Okay, it's a delay game. Breece, 0.6 points right there. Okay. How many brews are in there? I don't know. It's not been not a lot. It's been quite a few. Josh, not too much, but not enough. Enough. It's been enough. 3-yard pass coming up. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Carfox. Here we come. Here we come with a check down to Breece, which I'm completely fine with because I get point. It's a half PPR. Oh, here he goes. Watch out. Watch out. Simeon's on the run. Kick the field goal. Kick the field goal. 2 touchdowns. It's still technically possible, I guess. Yeah, Warren got shit on.
3 outstanding pass rushers. They have that on the edge with 91 now in his second year out of UAB. Great quickness and length. His 4th sack of the season. Here's a 44-yard attempt by Zerline. His last kick was blocked after he took a divot on the kick. And this one is...
That was very, very close to being blocked, by the way. I choose love, not violence. Not trying to get overly political here, but the messages of the NFL, like, do I ever see like choose love? I'm like, you know what? I was going to choose violence today, but the NFL told me to choose love. I'm going to choose love today. Stupid. It's fucking stupid. Who would be good free agent wide receiver 2? Pittman. Pittman is a really, really good wide receiver 2. Which, by the way, what has he done this year? Michael Pittman stats. 1,000 yards this year, 925 last year, 1,000 yards the year before. Yeah, Pittman is the ideal number 2, just in terms of like pay and all that stuff. Because like Higgins is a 1A or 1B in my opinion. You have obviously Adams, who's a 1A, 1B. You have Mike Evans, who's I would say more of a 2 at this point. So I would say Higgins is probably the most ideal 2 for a year or 2. But Pittman is 25, 26 years old, so you can pay him for quite a few years. Which actually, let me see. Michael Pittman age. How old is he? 26. Okay. Yeah. So I would say probably Evans and then Pittman, because I think Higgins is like realistically like a 1B, type of option. We got 20. You're right, Neil. Because against the Raiders, he said it's a race to 20. So this game, he got a race to 20 against a good defense. So we'll take it. We'll take it. Best offensive player, Garrett Wilson? Yeah. Yeah, I would say who was the better player at their position, Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall? Ooh. I actually don't know. I saw my door crack. You guys had to see my door crack right there. So that means my wife cracked the door for my dog. So my dog might be asking to come in. So if that crack opens, that means the dog is in the room. All right. On a positive note, Garrett Wilson has reached 1,000-yard mark, which beloved piece is not positive because you know clearly that I am playing Garrett Wilson in my fantasy league. See, Garrett Wilson, lettuce and tomato. Can't have it. I can't have it. Beloved piece. Alon says, "Hey Joe, if you were Ben Johnson, what open job would you take? Wish he was coming here. Wishful thinking." I think Ben Johnson, considering what the Lions have done this year, or just in general, like his last couple of years, is probably going to get more of a head coaching opportunity than an OC opportunity because he's already under Dan Campbell in Detroit, which is obviously more of a defensive head coach. So he's already kind of proving himself as an OC. So I think to transfer from like OC with the Lions to OC with the Jets wouldn't make much sense. So it's probably OC to head coach. So do I think the Jets are giving him the opportunity? Probably not. Probably not. Flacco bounce one. No, near no one. So I fucking hate these guys. Who would ever choose Love as a Jets fan after what they have put us through? Joe and gang, Happy New Year. Yeah, Chris, you haven't been here in a while. Happy New Year to you. Jets screwed ourselves with OT and Marshall being the biggest names. Both those. Yeah, they're expensive. They're expensive because they mean a lot.
Still wants to stay aggressive. Still wants to get back into that rhythm that they had going in that first half. Keep in mind, Elijah Moore goes down with that injury. Amari Cooper not out there.
Jared, by the way, I think it's pretty good thinking. A lot of people like third, fourth round pick, they assume it to be a starter, but I think the right approach to free agency this year is to approach it like you only have one starter coming from the draft. So you have a starting tackle in the draft. So you still need to acquire another starting tackle because you're not going to have two. You're not going to obviously bring back one of Becton, or you're not going to bring back both Becton and Brown, or neither, or probably either one. So you get one tackle from free agents or from a 66. Looks like he's full starting there. Tackle 3rd and 10. Okay, Tony Adams. So yeah, you get one starter. So that's one tackle, right? So you still need a starting or a starting receiver and a starting tackle. So I'm with you. Big targets like Pittman to complement Garrett Wilson. Higgins is big bodied. I don't think it's so much like big bodied. I think another good receiver could actually get open. I don't know if this is a stupid comment, but I would have Rodgers handpick each offensive. Yeah, Mikey. The only problem is he handpicked Billy Turner, who's one of the worst offensive linemen I've ever seen. So he handpicked him. He handpicked Dalvin Cook. He handpicked Alan Lazard. He handpicked Billy Turner. So Rodgers handpicking has been balls. So let's not handpick anybody. Do you want to see Flacco as a backup quarterback? Sure. I guess if you can have a improved backup offensive line, which by the way, got to piss again. Sorry. We're back. Didn't wash my hands. No washing of the hands. All right. Let's see. Would you elevate Jeff Elwork to head coach? What do we do about run defense? Do we keep CJ? Yes, CJ's contract is something you probably want to ask Grifka about in terms of like the money and all that stuff. But I think in terms of the money that we save versus the money we pay, it's probably not worth getting rid of CJ. But let's see. A little bit of the beer burps right now. Contract. And there are so many like little like intricacies of contracts, but let's see. Okay, CJ Mosley. 2024, we would save $11 million and dead money of 10 with $21 million of a cap number. Is CJ Mosley, again, you have to consider there's a cap savings. Is CJ Mosley an $11 million linebacker next year? Probably. I think that's probably his range. If it's not 11, it's 9 or 8. So are you going to get a linebacker like of his elk for $11 million next year? Probably not. So either he renegotiates or he's probably just back next year for the same price. Because then even in 2025, right now in 2026, he has 5.9 dead and 2.9 dead. So his contract's kind of fucked. A little bit fucked. There's a dog in the Thursday night booth, which is a golden retriever, which the best dog out there. You guys aren't dog people and you're cat people, then I don't trust you. Yeah, if you're let's get real here. If you're a cat person, don't trust you. If you wear socks to bed, don't trust you. Sorry. Either one of those. If one of you 43 wears socks, one of you 42 wear socks to bed, leave. I don't trust you. Sorry. You're a cat guy over a dog guy. I don't trust you. Leave. Incidentally, Joe, your Blewett Blick music has been not playing on your film reviews. Your Blewett Blick music has not been playing. Are you talking about like the sound bites?
What the hell is even that?
They haven't been playing? I really hope not, Rivka. Check down Breece. Got a little slippage, but hey, another 0.5 points. Beloved P says JD needs to blow. Beloved Peace. What are you saying? He needs to blow Higgins, Pittman, or Evans. Oh, doors off of the contract. I see. That has been one of 4th and 6, and a little scramble from Simeon. He's not going to get there. He's going to get there. He didn't get there. He got there. No, he didn't get there. Per the ref. The ref spot looks pretty legit, by the way. That's been one of my gripes with him in terms of trading. Well, once JD has a price in mind, he sticks to it many times at fault. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's short. No, he's short. Al Michaels. He's short. All right, let's see. All right, probably the last beer, or 11:07. Kind of wake up in the morning. I'm betting JD trades some 2025 picks to save his job. Yeah, I would say more so than years prior. JD's gonna be more willing to trade the picks of 2025, 2026 to see, or to just extend his job. He's down a full half a yard short there. Something close. Boxers are better than dogs. We're talking about like boxers are good dogs. Other dog breeds. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm personally to for lack of not sounding like a complete bitch, I am hypoallergic, or I am allergic to dogs, so I get a hypoallergenic dog. So my dog is a Bernese Mountain Dog / poodle mix because I can't deal with the dander. Carved up by Hunt. It's over, fellas. We all know it's over. But hey, we only lost with 2 touchdowns. So Turner was supposed to be a swing tackle, not a starter. I'm talking about O-line, not receiver or running back. Cobb was signed to be number 4. Cobb was signed to be number 5, but nonetheless, Cook was protection if Hall had a setback. Ted Moon, ABT solid. I'm not sure what you're necessarily like disagreeing with right now. Could I see just taking your comment as, you know, whatever? Turner as a swing tackle is a bad swing tackle. Cobb as a number 4 is a bad number 4. Cook, regardless of what he was supposed to be, his price was absolute dick. So I don't know what you're trying to say, but there's been some bad moves. Cobb was, again, number 5. You had Hardman, you had Davis, you had Lazard, you had McCole Hardman. He was a 5, not a 4. And Cook for $8 million, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's a bad signing. The film was blatantly obvious. The guy was ass. So anybody who says that Cook was good and we should have signed Cook, I know what you do anyway. Or I know what you do. You're a YouTube highlight type of fella. So for the Cook people, YouTube highlight people, great for you. Not an X and O guys, but looks like Jets. But Jets looks like a college offense. Everything's sideways. Since I'm not going to say that's, you know, the Shanahan offense is quite sideways as well. So. Let's see. Okay, hold on.
What the hell is even that?
Would be a surprise position that we see a splash move in this offseason. My guess would be the tackle, Sargent and Cox and Campbell. I would say like a surprise splash move would be D tackle or even a safety, because right now at safety you have Ashton Davis and Adams. So past that, could you bring in a Buda Baker or whoever it may be? I can see that being like a surprise splash, but just considering where the Jets come from in terms of like JD and where he's kind of, you know, the Eagles, the Ravens, I would probably lean more so towards a defensive tackle, but I could also see the safety, because he tried to splash at D tackle a little bit this year with you know, Calais Campbell and Fletcher Cox. So I could see D tackle, but I would say past that probably safety. I don't know. 3rd and 9, motion, run the Kareem Hunt. 37-20 game. Neither Cox nor Campbell qualifies as a splash move. Yeah, no, I wouldn't agree. Or I would agree with that. Surprise position. Yeah, I wouldn't say splash, but respect the honesty. Yeah, Cook was a horrible Vikes. No, there's a reason that the Vikings want to get rid of him, and for obvious reasons. What are the odds of only picking bad free agents? We won that weird distinction. The odds of picking bad free agents are probably at about a 80% chance right now. We pick bad over good because JD's free agency has been largely bad over good. Mikey Jets. I'm a Clark guy, so we hope so. Who is that? Patterson? Right down the middle. Okay. Give me a Breece Tutty right now. Give me a Breece Tutty. Breece 23 points versus Garrett 7. All right, we'll take it. We will take it. Which if I win in that league, by the way, it's 2 out of 3 years. So kind of like approaching a dynasty. Wish a splash was possible at guard, but there aren't even players out there. Yeah, I think I think Kevin Zeitler is probably the biggest name, and he's what, 33, 34 years old. So
Detroit's also in. Tampa, of course, in the South. That's still up for grabs. Dallas is in. The Rams close. And Seattle stayed alive.
Neil says I can't believe we have under 200 yards of passing in this modern era of football. This game is like, realistically, we've scored 20. I'm not so disappointed. We scored 0 versus the Dolphins. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever the fuck it was versus Chargers. We've had worse outputs than 20 versus the Browns defense, which is probably the strongest in the NFL right now. And I think just a little bit of hope. I think the Jets are actually going to score a touchdown right now. So it's going to be 27-37 with the Breece tutty. So kind of funny that Corey Davis, Hardman, and Amos did not want to be part of this team. Corey Davis, yes, you're right. Hardman, I think he probably wanted to be a part of this team, but he was not afforded the opportunity to be a part of this team. And then Amos didn't want to be part of this team because he wasn't playing. So you said Nick Chubb rubbing one out on the sideline, kind of odd. Breece. It wasn't Breece. It was fucking, goddamn, it was Yoboa. I saw 8. I'm sorry. Mikey says, Jesus, every time I see this playoff picture, it pisses me off because we should have been there. Yeah. Going from a Super Bowl type of hopes this year to a 6-10 team, it hurts. It hurts. I'm with you. I'm with you, Mikey. Last game, Simeon threw 49 times to get 200 yards. You cannot make that up. Yeah, one of those. Another funny thing is this light behind me, which I guess I'm just gonna turn it back on. Let's see. Light went out. No idea when that went out, but the light's going out and the green lights went out. So does technology just suck a little bit? I don't know, but yeah, my light was out a little bit, so I apologize. Becton again. Why do you think Becton has been so bad this year? Joe, just to be realistic, I think Becton was probably overrated in his rookie year by people. You have Baldy out there who's only going to put up highlights because Baldy only puts up highlights because what gets traction? Highlights. So he only does that, and Becton got way overhyped by him. I remember specifically in his rookie year. If you guys don't remember the play where he launched a guy into the air on a combo block, it was all Alex Lewis and probably 20% Becton, but people like to overhype him. So, yeah, Izzy got to fucking catch that ball, bro. Izzy's got some ball security issues right now. I love how he's showing on the Becton sense how bad he is, and Rivka, like, go back and let's you know what we're gonna do? Let's just read the last Becton comment I got, or one of the last Becton comments I got. So let's see. It's a funny one. It's a funny one. Oh, look, new comment. You know, the breakdowns are fantastic. I appreciate that from a John Halty. Let's see what the Becton comment was. The Becton comment was hilarious because I said it during the stream. There's gonna be one motherfucker who comments on this thing like, "Oh, Becton's injuries," and it's exactly what happened. So let's see what it was. The stream. Oh no, the Jets suck again. Let's see. Yeah, did he delete it? I don't know. He might have deleted it, that guy. 2nd and 10, drop back. Izzy over the middle, 6 yards. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know. The guy might have deleted it actually, but it was like a 3 or 4 paragraph thing about how Becton is injured and how could I expect Becton to plant off of his leg after this and that and that. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I evaluate what's out there. Holy fucking shit! How does Becton do that again? Just the guy loves getting penalties. He loves letting up sacks. He loves talking about the Miami Heat on Twitter. He's pretty balls. Mikey says 38 years of suffering for me. Are you 38 or are you like 40 something and you've been watching the Jets legitimately for 38 years? Because I can't say I've been suffering for 30 years because I'm 30 years old. I've been suffering like real suffering for probably I would say like 15 to 18 years. You know, since I'd probably say Favre was the first year where I was like really die hard. Like Pennington, I was a fan, like a hard fan, but not die hard. I would say my first die hard year was probably 08 with Favre. Whereas I was like really like watching every game, pinching everything. But come on, Jets. 27, 26, 25. Is he dumped down? I wish those were all freaking Breece Hall for obvious reasons, but bro, Jared needs a one catch to hit a massive parlay. Come on, Jared. Come on, Jared. Let's get a catch. Has Breece even been in? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it. But Clowney was talking some shit now, and that he's injured. Is that Clowney? Watch. Which, by the way, Kev, it's funny. It's funny that Connor Hughes tweets that out and says he tweets out a picture of Becton laughing, going to the locker room, and tweets out Becton going to the locker room. That guy clearly knows what he is doing. Putting out a tweet of Becton smiling, going into the locker room down, whatever they were, 30-0, 37-0, whatever they got beat by the Dolphins that day, they got blown the fuck out. And then Connor Hughes tweets out a picture of Becton laughing, going to the locker room. Clear as shit, knowing that Jets fans would freak the fuck out and criticize Becton. And he deletes the tweet, trying to seem like a social justice warrior, saying that, oh, I never knew the reaction this would get. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit on Connor Hughes on that one. He tweets out a picture of Becton walking into the locker room. He's smiling. He's saying, oh, I didn't know the reaction this would cause. Oh, poor me, victim. Fucking bullshit. It's a rough life. It's a rough life playing victim, but you tweet out a picture of a guy laughing in the locker room. Oh, I didn't know that the reaction that would cause. Okay, Connor Hughes. All right. Second string. Let's go for your friend. Yeah. Connor Hughes is a little bit weak. I don't like the victim playing shit on Twitter. Oh, I had no idea what that would cause. Oh, I have no idea. Kenny Gaboa? All right. We're over. We're done. I'm gonna finish this beer while I answer any more questions because I'm not gonna let a beer die. So, anything else to say? You have Ken Stefanski saying you guys played very hard. I appreciate your guys' effort. And Sal is coming back in the locker room and saying we don't appreciate that. First team to make the playoffs after having 4 QBs make multiple starts. Roger saying I'll be back next year, you motherfucker. We're finishing this beer at the minimum. I'm not going to let a beer die. So, thoughts, comments, concern. 37-20 loss to the Browns. 6-10 now, right? Fighting for 6-11. where are we at in the draft standings? Should I do an alt review now? I think it's Fashanu. It's Fashanu and a Latham. Fuck's the guy's name from Bama. We're gonna do some of that. Yeah. Jared says, "Are you ever going to do call-in shows?" Jared, honestly, I'm kind of I'm at the mercy of you guys. If you guys want me to do call-in shows, I do call-in shows. If you don't, I don't. But I don't know. I still don't know, Jared. I'm kind of I'm undecided with the direction of the stream, whether I should do just strict solo streams, me talking to you guys and really addressing the chat, or if I should do some of Ryan Delaney Jets Talk 24/7 type of shit where I got like a 3 or 2 minute timer. I don't think I want to call her in like just in terms of having a guy on for like 10 or 20 minutes because it can kind of, let's just be real, like callers can kind of suck sometimes. So do I want a guy on for 10 minutes who kind of sucks? I don't know. Like, do I limit to 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Maybe Jared, but yeah, maybe. Thank you for the live stream. Really appreciate it. You connect with your audience. I don't know. I think I'm just kind of talking while drinking Millers. Holy fuck, we suck. There we go, Zebo. The live stream made it. The game watchable. Thank you, Joe, and all the fans in the chat. I'd come on with you. Oh, Rivka, maybe that's what I'll do. Like a Rivka, a Robbie, a Mike. Maybe I do Ryan from Jets Talk, Tyson from Let's Talk Jets. Those are kind of my buddies. Wish I knew you had a live stream. Brandon, are you subscribed? Probably not. I'm disappointed in you, Brandon. Kev, would you be mad if JD trades down if Fashanu is waiting at our pick? Kev, like I think there's a lot of streamers and stuff who can answer this question. Like, yeah, I for sure would be mad. I can give like very like definitive statements, but I could tell you yes right now, and I can watch tackle's name from Bama, whatever, JC Latham, and be like, no, I prefer Latham over Fashanu because I've had situations in the past where people are telling me, oh, before the draft, January, whatever it may be, January, February, March. I'm like, oh my God, Evan Neal. We like Evan Neal. I watched Evan Neal and the guy sucked. So I don't know. Callers can suck sometimes, Jared. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, right? Like it's certain people will be great and they'll add like entertainment value. Some people will be great because they add actual like football knowledge. And then you'll have the guy who calls in to wear a fucking, a cat mask and jerks off. Like there's that. So I don't know. I don't know about callers. Back to sure the door. I am only entire live stream during a game I've heard this season. Kev, props to you. Thanks as always. At least let's beat the fucking Pats. Yeah. Last game next week, which by the way, honestly, like, do I even do a show next week? Do I just stream the Pats game? Do I start streaming away games? Do we start doing this? Do we start like cracking Millers during games? I don't know. But again, I'm finishing this half a Miller before I go to bed. So. All right. We got about one or two more gulps. I'm going to go to my bed. Wife's going to be like, you smell like beer. Why? I don't know. 11:27. Fuck. I don't care about draft, but I don't want to help. But I don't want to help them either.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, I don't know, Mikey Jets. I don't know. Stream Pat's game so you can dream about picking fourth and my pick. Enjoy a good night. Okay, I'm out. I'm sorry for a discombobulated stream. My first live stream during a game. Again, the beers were flowing, so I apologize if I sound a little bit stupid the last hour or two, but is what it is. I appreciate you guys, and I will see